Head through a pretty choppy session overall. We are trying to get a little bit of a rally going here this afternoon, but overall, a red board that I can show you here in a couple seconds, but on a day when we get some movement in EV land, some movement in crypto land, and some movement in tech in general back to the downside overall, we are negative. This is Bitcoin currently. Did get up above 42,000 once again briefly, but trying to go again. 41,743 right now as this move continues today. It's worth saying, I mean, still lots of day left and a ton of volume behind this as well as we continue to move higher. So we'll touch on a lot of the individual equities related to crypto, obviously this afternoon. So Coinbase, Mara, Riot, some of the ones we touch on quite frequently here, benefiting tremendously from this move overall in Bitcoin. Spotify benefiting this afternoon, 7.4%, still in positive territory. Bit of a pullback right now, but up on some job cuts or news of some job cuts this morning. This went early on in the pre-market and really never looked back. Tagged 200 and change a couple times. We are rolling over a little bit right now, but Spotify with a really, really nice day. Pfizer with a nice day as well, 2% to the upside. AbbVie and Merck all back higher after a bit of a week ending too last week for those three. But as you saw, lots of red on that board. We are seeing a little bit of strength from banks right now. Home Depot, 1.5% to the upside. So individual retail related names also helping to offset an otherwise pretty red board here. It's all the big ones, the ones that matter the most as far as the market is concerned, back to the downside today, including a 3% pullback for NVIDIA, 2.5% there for AMD, 3+ for Intel down there as well. So chips under pressure. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Meta, all downside to the tune of 1.5% to 2.5%. Oracle, Adobe CRM, Netflix following suit. Amazon even 1.5% kind of a day as we try to get through to what could be potentially a Santa Claus rally. As if you're with us in the pre-market, we were talking to Michael Noss from over at Trade Ideas. He was saying, going into Christmas and then into the first week of January, typically when you see that buying coming into the market, definitely not today. If you look at a daily chart of the overall market, you'll get the picture as well. We are quite extended here after that move on Friday into the weekend. Market closes at recent highs right across the board. The Dow specifically with a pretty good end to last week. 1.34 for the NASDAQ right now, about 0.7 still for the S&P 500. Let's touch on a few things that we were talking about. If you're with us pre-market this morning, join us every day at 8:30. We get you set for the open at 9:30 in that first hour. Semiconductors were top of the list today. There was a note from NVIDIA CEO that they're going to focus on supplying Japan specifically with AI-related chips, but as we saw on this board, clearly not the focus today. Back to the downside in a big way, right across the board, guys. 4 chips today.
Yeah, wild action today indeed.
I was just getting my Bluetooth connected there because Randy was here talking all about XOM. We'll have his thought about that in a minute. But yeah, welcome back to the show. As it's been a pretty crazy day here, I think so. Anyways, with some of the plays that we're looking at right now, we are back into the short with Google now starting to make a move back down. Let's just take a sum out here at 33 if we're lucky enough to get that. We just shorted 54s there on the break back lower. So yeah, man, so far so good here. As the day goes on. I don't know. Chips, semis on watch. Look, we've traded a little bit of, whoopsies, that's Apple. We traded a little bit of AMD today. It has this might be another move here to start to short. We did have that nice move back in. It's a well-profitable stock for us as we were short before we were wrong and then got some more out here at 117 down near the bottom. Can we retest that? Possibly. I mean, the biggest and the baddest of them all here with NVIDIA bouncing basically off 450. I mean, to the penny, it's 450.10 is the bottom here. So I still feel like this is a good breaker spot as well. This market's pulling back in just a little bit right here as there goes Google. Let's go. Let's ring the register one more time here with a nice little downside push here for Google. Can we get some 24s? Hopefully the answer is yes, we can, as we'll take 30 more cents here. And we're spinning some profits today. It's been a good one there, Obi. I know that you were battling some longs early, but now we've got those demons out of there. And now we'll look to make a different kind of a play here. As you're long and short, you've got that infamous schlong going on.
Yeah, a little bit there. I did Again, full disclosure, I did get a little capitulated in the morning, so I will be trading on TMS for this session right now. Let that be clear. But yeah, a little bit of a short here on Tesla. I'm just trying to take good reps, get back into the good mojo for tomorrow. And yeah, clearly, when I hop into TMS, I guess that mental isn't really there, and we start to push out some decent trades. And I'm like, what's up with that, man? We got the long on Apple.
But what is up with that?
I think there's strong reasoning for it, right? It's like you're observing the problem with a more open look. You're not necessarily attached to it, even though I'm still trying to make the right kind of decisions, right? Neil talks about this all the time. You gotta work on your decision making, and that's a big part of being a trader. So hopping into the training system and being like, all right, well, I'm shut down on the day, I blew out my risk. There's reasons why that happened. We reviewed it. We went over why, what the mistakes were. Maybe, leaving the stops a little too wide than normal, and you get clipped. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? Fine. What's the next trade, right? Can you preserve your decision making, and can you carry that over to the next day? So that's what I'm attempting to do here. And yeah, just that lack of I guess I don't really want to call it stress, but it's like it's just like, okay, there's a lack of attachment, even though that should be there regardless. But that's always kind of at the back of your head, and that sometimes I feel makes me a little jittery, kind of getting into and out of positions maybe too quickly, and that can really chop us around. But when I'm open to whatever, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to make good decisions. This is the level I want to get short here. Yep. This is the risk that the trade deserves, and I'm going to throw both of those orders in there and leave it, let it cook. That's kind of what I've been doing, and it seems like it works well. Like we got short 238 on Tesla, covered right into 236 halves, comes right into 237 halves again, get more short on top of the core that we're already holding, and then it comes back down into 236. So it seems like a decent trade there. But yeah, of course, we got a little bit lucky there as that trend from the morning started turning a little bit, and we're getting a little bit of a slowdown of that momentum. But just trying to get some good reps in this session. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm doing fine. I'm just, one other trade here that we were just talking about quickly was Shopify. I'm going to talk about this in a couple minutes, not spot, shop. This came back in. We've been looking short, and it was just the bias. So we shorted 73 right there, and we are now money, 75 cents in the money on this one as well as we continue to go. But yeah, great points there, and I just wanted to, I'm glad that you emphasized that, because I wanted to talk a little bit about, because we were doing psychology earlier, and I did step up on that show and was mentioning that, no matter what you think, it's harder to pull the trigger, especially when you have real money on.
Yeah,
real so. And then the other thing too, I don't want everyone to think that Obi's blown out or anything here. Not unfortunately, but kind of catch-22 on the floor. We have risk parameters that we have to adhere to. So, when you're trading other people's money, I have the same kind of stops as well. So does Neil. We all have different stops, limits that get hit. So unfortunately, when they do get hit, I do respect the fact that you went back into training mode. So I think that that's very, very important as well. All right, this Google trade is starting to get real good as Google's coming right back into the low of the day again. So let's bid a 128 flat. Just want to get that through before we go back over to the desk. Kill them, guys.
All right, just be aware, NVIDIA presenting at the JP Morgan 41st Annual Healthcare Conference. So there was a couple of headlines that came through on that. One regarding the ad tier subscribers, 15 million now. The COO making some comments as well, so just be aware. NVIDIA down big time, as we saw anyways, 3% here. To the downside, let's talk Uber into the S&P 500. I mean, overall, the market was trying to hold there. I was going to mention on the daily chart, if you zoom out, the market was trying to hold the bottom end. But Uber, after the close on Friday, if you missed it, the Dow Jones comes out, officially announces that Uber's going into the S&P on the 15th, next Friday, as of the close. Well, It'll be tradable as of the Monday, the 18th at the open, but the adjustment's going to be made next Friday.
Yeah, 2 straight quarters of actual profit here, Brendo. After a long time remaining unprofitable, they reported a net income of $221 million on revenue of $9.3 billion. In case you were wondering why these stocks move up when they actually get into the S&P, it's because fund managers who are tracking the S&P have to actually buy Uber and hold on to it into their own accounts, so you get a slew of buying. With respect to what they actually need to be able to get into the S&P 500, says here they must have positive earnings in the most recent quarter and over the prior 4 quarters in total. Constituents of the index usually have an index, a market cap of around $14.5 billion. Uber way above that.
Yeah, and this means essentially, I was reading a note at the end of the morning there, 200 million shares going to need to be purchased by fund managers to make these adjustments. Wow. So better part of 12 billion worth of monetary value. This one, SEDG, among one of 3 coming out, going to be replaced by Uber. But still, I mean, 3%, nice day here for SolarEdge.
I was actually just going to call up SolarEdge, and you just nailed it right there by letting us know that it was up today when Uber's down. Uber's not down today, but it's been down since it's open and is right here just taking out its day low, or trying to anyways, bouncing now off 59. But you guys know this trade's already been done. I mean, we don't have diamond hands to hold on to it. We got out of this right during the live show, right as we went off air at 10:50. We got that print. I was just waiting here on the low of the day pretty much. So we got these 80s, and it's not a huge trade, but it was about $1.15 or so off 61. We liked 61 long short, here today. I just felt like this was a sell the news situation when Uber's been really, really excited to the upside. And then I was just using that top wick as 61, and it's turned out to be okay. Remember when we zoomed this back out, and you're going to, hopefully this, oh, there it goes. I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't take too long, which it does not. But, I mean, right into there, I just was looking at this and said, you know what, let's use 61. We knew there was going to be some excitement behind this name today, so it is what it is, and it did come back in. So that was a good trade there. I think Uber could get extended out. I just asked Michael Nosta, let's see if we could talk a little bit about this name here. Join me on the market recap show where we'll do some stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get going on that one. But I like this, man. 61 and change, fading it until we're wrong. Uber included in the SPX, ho-hum, really. I mean, it's great. But once it's in the SPX, it's in there, and then now you got to look, and people saying, does Uber even make money, so on and so forth. So you'll worry about that after, but for right now, it's a nice move up. And look, we've been expecting this for a while. We sort of just went over there. 4 or 5 straight quarters of EBITDA profitability, got them in it. We knew it was coming. Everybody did. So no surprise here when Uber has about 6 or 7 straight days with a couple down days in there. Then you get the pop off of the Friday aftermarket announcement. So again, congratulations everybody that's in Uber. But I mean, no surprise there today. And I still think it's a sell until we get above that 62, 63 area. Am I going to go long Uber now, Elon? No, I don't. Well, what, on the day, you mean? Is that what you're asking? Anyways, I'll throw it back over to you, and then I'll see what Elon's saying.
Yeah, I think the long idea off the 59 is not too bad, but again, I think the main one we covered in the morning was that 61, and again, more than enough reason for a little bit of respecting the short when you can't really get and bid above that 61. We kind of defined these levels in the morning session. You guys were here when I kind of put these 3 lines in, or you guys saw in the morning that I had put these 3 lines in, kind of looking a little bit further back on the chart and defining some of these support and resistance levels. And today, a little bit of an inside day, but well within kind of these key levels, the significant level from, again, Friday, that news reaction high. You can't really get past it in the morning. You do get past it off the 4 a.m. candle, but you come right back in. Again, 4 a.m., not that much volume, but if there is some volume there, you might want to look and consider those prices with a little bit more weight there. But the key message there is that we couldn't get past that past that 61, and you come right back into support right there at 59. So a little bit of a sandwiched price action happening on Uber off of the S&P ad news.
All right, let's go on to Tesla here. We get more data out of China this morning on Tesla sales this time. And it was kind of interesting because just after we were talking about this, Ford came out with November deliveries, and I think it was around 145,000 or 144,000 in the month total vehicles. This number, just China for Tesla, 82,432 cars. That's still down almost 20% on a year-over-year basis.
Look, I mean, if you look at it on a month-to-month basis, it doesn't look good, obviously, on a year-over-year quarterly basis. But if you look at it on what they delivered from October to November, it's up about 14.3%. And if you look at it on a year-to-date basis, how Tesla has sold as many cars in 2023 as they did in 2022, we're up 31.3%. And someone was being comical in the chat during the midday, and they're like, "Oh, Brendo's comparing Ford's full world deliveries to to Tesla's China deliveries."
Yes,
and that's what it's gotten to, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
So.
Quiet day, though, overall, if you have a look at Tesla today, guys. Wasn't much to do.
Yeah, I had Tesla. I'm still looking at this Google short here because Google's trying to come back upside here. So we only cashed out of 40%. We still have 60% on. It's too bad because we have a bid. I didn't even see this breaking in. We had a bid at 06, went down to 11 there. I don't know. We were just trying to play off these bottoms of 128. That's too bad that it bounced off. But I'm still looking for a short to get out there. 128.80. I mean, if we break this high, we'll reload it a little bit higher than where we are now. But that's 128.80. That's not good. Like, that's 30 cents away. The most we went down was 40 cents. So let's give this another look. I'm going to try to reload this in and around the 70 area for Google just to make sure we're right. Because look at the market as we get back up to the upside. So let's just be careful with Google. And let's just make sure, in case I start talking a little bit too much here, let's just make sure that we have a stop out for Google before we go. New position initiated right now. It's going to be Carvana. So CVNA is now in the building. And Sharif mentioned this, like, I don't trade too much outside of the comfort zone. But I actually, you know, with Ninum last week, and then GameStop last week as well. Here we go, man. I'm going to... You know what my trading is going to be called from now on? Follow the damn money. Wherever the stocks are trading, we're going to use volume. We're going to use our ability. We're going to watch these stocks because it don't matter to me what stocks we trade. We just got to understand that Carvana can move a lot more than another $40 name. This might be the most aggressive $40 name. I mean, it's up 16%. We know this can really move. So there we go, man. We do the same things as we always do. Here comes Carvana into the 200 period moving average. Your boy says, let's give me those shares. So we take them right now. It's in the money, an amazing 15 cents. Not good enough. We're going to wait for 41s to get some out there for Carvana. Then if we continue to break higher, then good for us on that one. We're trying to show some diversification in how we trade because, you know, we want to make some money and show you guys that it is possible on all kinds of stuff right now. So we're short Google and Shopify and long Carvana. Follow the money. Tesla. Okay, so I'm not in Tesla today, and I think Brendan or Sharif mentioned that it wasn't doing much, and I think that they're kind of right on that. I mean, again, off the open, we always have quite aggressive moves. This was real tricky. Like, this is 1 minute through 238 all the way down to 235. You had a 2 or 3 minute window there where you bounced up and down like $3 or $4 before eventually taking out those tops of 240. And then look at this move all the way back in. We had written down 232. The lowest it got was 233. So we do miss it by $1. But why did we... What? I don't know why we have all these moving averages on here and everything, but why did we miss that? Well, right into here for Tesla was 232. So this is the buy zone for me. And until we get into that, I think we'll stay away. So we did miss it just by a little bit there, but you know, such is life. Carvana is making a move up again. Maybe we should just take a piece. It's 25 cents. And see, this is what I do, man. It's like I sit there and I debate, you know, we don't want to get out on this name until $41. And then I see the profit and we decide to get out. But right now we're going to wait for this. Carvana, I don't think this is a horrible out right now. But Tesla 232 is my only spot. I know you're short right now, so why don't you explain to the masses why that is, Obi?
Yeah. So again, a little bit of a chop on Tesla today. relatively different than the rest of the market. Clearly, the market is kind of selling off, and Tesla bids up right off the open, but it can't really get past some of these Friday levels or pre-market levels either. Kind of, this is the 5-minute chart right here. So look at these strong wicks on the 5-minute, right? It's clear that sellers are kind of aggressive underneath that 240. So I was just chilling, I was watching it, and I was like, okay, this is a pretty strong trend back up towards high a day. But the thing I want to note is that sellers became kind of aggressive back down through this 238 level, underneath this 238 halves. You can see the strong wicking on the 5-minute right there underneath pre-market highs. So I was like, all right, well, when this kind of trend maybe starts to slow down, I do want to get involved. I know it's sideways as well, but back down through that 238, I was watching the tape there. A little bit of aggressive selling came through on the tape there relative to what we were doing before. Again, Tesla tape is absolutely aggressive. I am not used to really watching it, but I think something I can determine is relative change of the tape. So a little bit of acceleration where sellers start pushing into the bid at the same place where sellers got aggressive in the morning. So that was kind of the idea for the short. I just scalped it. The idea was just a quick scalp back down into some of these, that 236, but we cover along the way when it shows us that it kind of wants to hold in and around that area, but that VWAP is right there as well. So yes, I am short a little bit, but not much of what I did have all the way up here in and around that 238 level. So right here, as soon as we break down, get short and then cover along the way, add some more, cover along the way, and maybe potentially, if we're going to make a lower high again, maybe add some more and cover along the way. But that VWAP, definitely interesting, a little bit of an inside day happening.
Don't look now. Here comes 42,000 once again for Bitcoin. Just testing actually right now. 41,957 currently, but we did get above that briefly early on this morning, back below it currently. But trying to make a second move here into the latter part of the equity session. 6.25% for Coinbase. All of these looking very similar, kind of gapping to the upside and then sideways action overall. We did hold 138, 140. Yep, Coinbase is 140 again. That's a thing. What a daily chart for that as well.
Yeah, it's what a move here. The next levels that I have earmarked here for BTC are 48,000 and 52,000. So we'll have to see, if we make it our way up there. It's been a great year for Bitcoin, well over 150% now. In terms of gains, in case you're wondering why, we basically have three tailwinds here. We have the Bitcoin spot ETF that's supposed to be approved any day now by the SEC. We'll see when that happens, if it happens. We also have the halving event in May. That's always, there's a run up into that event where the price of Bitcoin goes up. And we also have interest rates where, Jerome Powell was on the mic several times last week and the market interpreted maybe that he's done raising. We'll see how long we stay elevated for.
Either way, a double in a month and 2 days here for Coinbase. Pretty impressive.
Unreal.
We yes, 100% up for Coinbase. So if you're in that name, congrats. You may want to think about it. We did get some out there. Carvana went to 80, so we did take some profit. We'll take 30 cents on that. Just so, I know we're talking about Coinbase and Bitcoin, but I just wanted to bring that attention. We're now at a third of it. I don't know, man, up 6%. You can watch everything you want right now, but Bitcoin is starting to make the moves back up to the upside. So again, I'm a little bit disconnected from BTC and Coinbase because I don't really understand what's up with it. Like, I don't see why Coinbase is up so much. I mean, Bitcoin's up, that's great, and maybe they are the final winner out of all of this as we get CZ, we get SBF. It's CZ, SBF, like just all these alpha names. But, it's just, they're still around and Coinbase still kicking. There are a lot of like buy it now buttons with Coinbase I kind of found on, not a lot, but on some websites. So I could see as Bitcoin becomes more into adoption and maybe something helped for payment or, I know that Coinbase has that. They also have some custodial deals and whatnot with different coins. So I think that, to be able to sit on this exchange, maybe this is the safest, and maybe Coinbase continues to work. I still like to short it near 150 if that can be possible, but I don't know if that's going to be possible here today. So I say you just kind of keep watching these guys. We talked about HUD 8 today, and I know there's a lot of people in the chat wondering about HUD 8. And again, this is just a name. I mean, again, a good name, but they reverse split today. So they are not up 300, 400, 500%, whatever you're seeing it up on your system. It's got reverse split, so 5-1. So from $2 up to 10, no surprise there. I thought it would have been up a lot more than this just because of the fact that a lot of Bitcoin miners were up pretty significantly today. So it's a surprise that HUT isn't up even a little bit more than that, but it's getting that whole reverse split action. Mara, man, we talked about this at $10 like 2 weeks ago, so hopefully you're in this one, up 40% as well. A short float in Mara, definitely helping this name go upside. Look, crypto's going to be here for a while, I feel like, so get on it now or wait for a pullback, but Bitcoin continues to work.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap up hold on a lot of these tickers as Bitcoin kind of continues to push towards its, I wouldn't, not all-time highs, but relatively fresh highs. Excuse me. Relatively fresh highs, right? But yeah, we're watching Coinbase here. We're watching a lot of these crypto-related names. 150, kind of an interesting level there on Coinbase. Can't really get there just yet. But if Bitcoin continues to kind of steadily climb up, as it has been, that could definitely push us through some of those significant levels as well. We'll take a look at this kind of a slow trend up, pass through that 40K, and then you get that first sign of strong selling. The longest kind of bar here on the 15-minute happens just underneath this 42,250, right? So the high being 42,160 here on Binance Exchange. But yeah, we're kind of creeping right back up into that. So not Microsoft. MSTR is another kind of interesting name as well for those of you who have a little bit of a wider risk appetite. It can definitely provide you with the meals you require there, as the range on this ticker is quite wide, and again, it's a crypto-related ticker. So I like keeping this one on watch as well. And of course, Mara and Riot, Sean was talking about these. We were talking about kind of that 15, 16 level there. That couldn't really get past that, but it did do that gap fill. We were also talking about that gap fill. It's if it kind of violates this range here of the pre-market, and we got a little bit of that gap fill down into 14, and we're basing off now as Bitcoin continues towards knocking towards new highs.
At 42,000.
All right, big day upside here for Spotify, even with what the overall market's doing, 8.5%. Straight through any recent levels and then some, 195.80 coming into play right now. If you missed it this morning, 17% of the workforce being cut. And that kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, if you go back to the last earnings, not bad overall. Might have been that day. We got a huge move to the 170 for Spotify, and here we are, 20 and change dollars higher now, but maybe preparing for what could be a bit of a downturn next year.
Yeah, sadly, this is the third time they've cut jobs this year, Brendo. Initially, they cut about 6% of their workforce, about 600 employees. And then in June, they cut another 2%, which was about 200 roles. This time, it's 17%, like you mentioned, which is about 1,500 roles. This is after they turned a profit of about $70 million in the last quarter. So they were profitable here, but looking obviously to shore up some expenses here.
Yeah, the year of cutbacks continues. Spotify, the latest one here. The rundown, as always, brought to you by Trade Ideas. See what's moving in the moment. If you haven't done so yet, take advantage. Bottom right corner, 25% off from us to you. Scan that QR code or use the promo code TraderTV25 still, and then you can bug Mr. Michael Noss all you like. You have my permission, guys.
You also have my permission as well. He will be on the closing show tonight. It'll be Michael Noss. I want to talk to him about Uber, what he thinks about that stock. And then here goes Spotify. I mean, we talked about this earlier when we got the story from the watch list, and that is that, I said the year of efficiencies. We talked about Zuckerberg and what that meant for Meta. So then today you just get that huge move up. It continued early, stopped at 200 and fell on its face back into 192. So right up there, it's actually 202, 201. 201.50 or so for Spotify, but look how great that is on the daily. So it's been absolutely huge over the last little while. As Brendan said, you're nowhere near the highs, but we got carried away, obviously, when we talk about 2021 and 2020. So nice move back. You're coming up to some key levels again here for Spotify. I mean, cutting jobs obviously does suck, but as a shareholder, you don't mind this, getting back into some efficient areas of production. So for Spotify, good name. For me, it's not super. It is tradable, but not something that I've been looking at here today. Congratulations if you're on Spotify and you hit both the long and the short. I mean, the long right off the open, the retest short possibly at 200 right there, gave you a nice little take. And then what about this? If you guys want to trade moving forward, look at this. How about this? This is a nice break, man. 197. If you break 197, you have 196 help. Actually, I'm going to put a bid here to take this out. 197 and a quarter. We're going to go long Spotify if it breaks this 197 and a quarter. So let's think about why. Why? It's up today. The market's above the 50-period moving average right now. It's above VWAP. We're starting to get back. We're not going to get green today, but, well, okay, never say never. It's 230. But if this name's going to go and the market's going to go, this isn't horrible. You'll have protection from VWAP. You have the 50-period as well. I like this, 127.25. I'm going to put a long to get through that just in case we miss it, but it's looking pretty good so far to get Spotify to break through that 197 and a quarter. We did reload some Google. That's still Spotify. There's Google right here. We just reloaded it right now at 50s, like literally 50s. Let's see if we get something out down here, maybe 40, and then hopefully a lot lower than that as we're short right now, 52. We'll take a dime and we'll worry about it after. But I like that Spotify chart again. Good news, breaking above 197 and a quarter, the go zone for Spotify.
Yeah, I like that 200 interaction as well. Again, looking a little bit further back on the chart, we've seen, again, Spotify has been pretty elevated in the past before 2021, 2022, kind of all the way up here. But yeah, knocking on the door of some of those support turn or resistance as when these levels kind of broke down, this 220, this 200, take a look at the selling that comes in, and it brings us all the way down to sub $100 right there. So potentially this shelf right here is what we're knocking up against. If Spotify can, I guess, bid another 20 points to the upside, we'll be right there where that support kind of is. But first day, right, we're gapping up. We're gapping up on the news there, and a little bit of an inside.
All right, it's the double show. There, I like that one there. Oh man, you had two of me there, Fabian. I like that. Yeah, good little look there. We're gonna wait for Spotify to go. Here comes. We just got Google to the downside. Are your hands freezing or? Okay, good. I was always wondering. Because I know Neil and I are like, we always complain a little bit about that. So, okay, good. So I'm not going as crazy as my wife says I am. So that's always a good sign right there. Okay, so out a little bit there. Just in case, again, we're all looking at the same charts here. Carvana makes a move up. I'm still waiting for 40. If we break back down below 40, we down on that one. But I am waiting for many more shares as there we go. Wow, we are back in the building right now. Spin it for Google. There it is again, man. As that's a good move down. Now 20. We just reloaded this. Now 20 cents in the money on that move back in for Google. So that's going to be a good one. Shopify, we did not get the reload, but we're considering it. I'm going to wait for 73s until that one comes through as well. I got to clean this chart. I have way too many indicators on this chart. I don't know what's happening with that. That's a 15-minute chart down there. What else do we want to do? What's going on with Palantir? We had a great trade on Palantir, man, and then still up on this name, but we shorted it. It was a pretty good one until it broke, but right there, 1870 on Palantir. This is a name, again, that I really want to buy. Look at how dramatically this has made a move in. I was looking at 17 patient as a bottom. I'm going to clean this up right now. So what I have on here is way too many things. I don't need volume weighted average price. What I'm going to use on this, I do not need a 21 period either. Not VWAP. for that one. No, because VWAP is the same on no matter what chart you look at. So I already have it up. So sorry. I should explain that a little bit better. Yeah, only on this 20-minute chart. Just looked way too busy. So VWAP is it's volume weighted average price. So it really shouldn't matter what chart you're looking at. Obviously, the time frame may be different on the charts, which could affect it for sure. But that's the reasoning for that one. So we'll clean that up a little bit. But I really like Palantir, and the reason why I want to look at it was hopefully this would load up back down there. It does not appear to be doing that. But yeah, I like a 17 bid for Palantir. We'll wait till that comes in, and here we go. Again, Google just bounced off 25 again, so let's put another bid at 25 and take some kind of profit on that one.
Yeah, so again, I kind of, like we said, I added on to that Tesla short when we popped back above 237, and very, very strong flush back to the downside, so cover most of that right away because, again, kind of we were talking about looking for a relative difference, and that strong selling, and then suddenly just stops and stalls right into this kind of consolidation base from earlier. Yeah, I want to piece off most of that position right there, and just holding on to just a little bit, or much less than 25% relative to our initial entries there. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. You need anything, Obi?
No, I'm good. I got my coffee right here. Thank you. The short idea, we kind of, like I said, let it work. And when it comes in, you cover along the way. But when there is a relative kind of difference in that tape speed there, I do want to just as aggressively cover as that aggressive tape comes in, because that usually, I don't know. I don't know what it is when there's a significant relative change on the speed and the pace of the tape there, Sean.
I just see some right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, if it's not really in the direction, or if I was lucky and it's in the direction of my trade, I do want to piece them off, right? Kind of like what Neil likes to say, you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. You get some strong selling action that suddenly just like stops in the middle of a consolidation. Yeah, I want to cover most of that short right there. And yeah, sure, it can come right back in. That's a whole different story there. But maybe we are making a little bit of a double top here underneath this 237 halves. And Apple, we were talking about Apple.
What's going on right
now? Apple, there was no reason to get out of this trade. I got a little jittery here when it gives us a strong sell, but those 188 halves held like a champ. I kind of talked about that 189 to 188 kind of last week's levels potentially coming into play. And yeah, that is kind of the support on the day. And I think Sean was also talking about that 15.7, so a little bit of a confluence with that NQ level plus the Apple level there, a bit of a bounce off of last week's lows. We did break through last week's lows, but when we reclaim and hold above and then start to trend above that level, I really like that, and then we get long off of that idea up here, not at 188, but when it kind of shows us it's consolidated, it's trending, it's making higher highs, the trend from the morning may be negated, we're definitely going sideways on the morning trend. Yeah, I want to put some risk on for the long. So that was the idea for that trade off the 188, the previous week's support, and it seems like that 189 is coming in, but I have absolutely nothing left in terms of shares here. Now again, trading TMS. Full disclosure, but yeah, that consolidation kind of hold here, I pieced off of most of the shares right there. So yeah, a little bit of a learning lesson there to hold on to at least a little bit there. As yeah, take a look at that, some strong popping to the upside.
Like Google,
there.
We just tried to short Google twice, so out of nowhere, and this is gonna happen, man. Like we'll give back a little bit of our Google trade today. Like it just popped. Like what's up with this trade? Look at Google right here. Like absolutely on fire back up to the upside. I feel like I'm missing something here on that, but we'll wait to see if there is anything. And there goes CVNA. So Carvana does break lower, and there we go. So we suffer that L right there on Carvana. Unfortunately, we did get something out, but then we did put on bigger now. But it's just, I'm thinking we could use that right there as our out maybe and get back into CVNA. I mean, this has been a little bit of a tricky trade. We'll punch it in, and then we'll go down to 39. Like, I don't know. That bottom wick, now I can't see it because I have this mark here. Let's go to like 39, like 84 something. Oh, here it comes. It's going to break it. There it goes. So it broke. Okay, so Carvana weak, obviously, as that just broke below 40. I wonder if we switch up now and go the other way on Carvana. Let's wait. I want to go long. I don't think we need to play the weakness yet. We just tried it right there. We just lost another 10 cents on it. Not a huge suffer here for us, but it is a nice move down. We were just long. We just got out at 40.70, so yeah, it's down about $1 since we did start to look at it. And then I don't know what that move was all about, man. Like, I'm not hearing anything in my ear at all, just about the market potentially moving. So I'll try Google one more time here to the short. It's relatively weak against the market there. We can use this 129.20. Let's just do that. In case that was just a fugazi, little bit of a move there.
I think somebody might have hit a basket market cover, boom, and then everything.
You think so?
Just an idea. I don't know.
I don't know.
Throw on the tinfoil hat.
Did everything pop up there?
Yeah, everything. Google popped.
Google's doing something with Gemini?
Apple popped.
All right, let's go over to Brendan.
Okay, so there is news.
Brendan has something.
Morning, guys, that we're going to get a preview apparently as early as this week for Gemini AI from Google.
More
yeah,
AI
scratch
news.
that then. Yeah, okay, so AI, never heard of it. But yeah, that's making all the stocks start to move a little bit right here, right now. So this is part of the reason why I love Google, though, like in the long-term account, is that I think that people are sleeping definitely on what their offering is going to be. And then you could see Microsoft for sure getting the uptick of, not now, but we've already seen they added, I think, $1 trillion of market cap since OpenAI investment.
Yeah.
So you can really see that starting to kick around. Okay, we are short now. Google, we're short at 90s. Let's see if there is a little bit of a pullback, regardless of the news. Like we said, we don't, not to insult CMTs or anything, because I ain't one, but we'll put on that hat and just try to play a little bit here and the reason why I say that is technicals. So we're bouncing a little bit off of 70, the VWAP right here, so we will take a little bit of a piece out. Now that we understand the news, the moves won't surprise us, so we can trade them accordingly here. News is, of course, possible discussion of a Gemini product placement demonstration later on this week. Possible. When confirmed by Google and or somebody else, I'm sure we'll go over this a little bit more. But right now, Google preps public preview of Gemini after postponing in-person events. So we'll find out what's going on right now as Google making a way back in a little bit here. So we still believe in the short, but now we do understand the reason for this. So let's start to clean a little. There we go. We've just made back what we lost. And honestly, guys, like, that's part of the game. Trade the levels. We gave this out. Hopefully it comes back in, and I don't know, man. It's nice to ring the register, honestly, but I would have liked to have held and not gotten out at the top, but that is a very, very risky trade for show.
Yeah, so that pop was a little crazy there. We talk about kind of covering most of the position there on the Tesla when it does something like that, and it comes right back in right after off of that I guess that news, because some of these names start selling off. I see that Amazon kind of selling off as well. Maybe some of those AI competitors maybe catching a little bit of a sell there off of that news as Google kind of pops up. We know that Tesla's also kind of dabbling in the AI game as well. But
people are asking, because they see you on here, what about Amazon? And I think you were just in and out of it there quickly, or no?
No. I am watching it here. Okay. But yeah, that. We talk about kind of that 145 being a little bit of an interesting level, and we talked about it being a magnet. And I was a little long, too early, too aggressive. But take a look when the bid comes right back in, that 143 comes, and what do we do with that 145? We bid all the way from 143 back into that 145, kind of proving to us over and over again that 145 stays interesting. Sure, it's a messy level, but that magnet is definitely there. Again, just the observation for the past few weeks, right? So yeah, a little bit of a sell-off off of a key level. Now again, confluence is the name of the game here.
As the French version of confluence,
I think so.
Confluence?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I like to say it like that. So it just
Right, because it's a French
cool.
word,
Yeah.
so I think, yeah.
So just
Confluence. You got to say it like, confluence. Confluence, see? Yeah. Bonjour.
Yes.
Like, why do I say
I don't do the accent any justice, but it does sound very cool.
Nor do I.
But yeah, back through that 145, and then you catch a little bit of a sell. So the level staying interesting. Now, if we have that maybe that sentiment of Google kind of being like, okay, well, if Google is going to be doing something cool with an AI, all the other ones who work on their AI maybe catch a little bit of a sell in fears of the others kind of taking over. So I see that Tesla here is coming right back in. Right back into the levels there, not really doing too much, but I'm going to give this a little bit of room as we've already covered most, if not significantly all of our position on that. Just holding the last little bit there on the Tesla. But Apple continues to bid up there, Sean. 189 now, maybe. Are we going to get to 190? I'm curious about that. But we were talking about kind of keeping an eye on the SPY as well. And then the lows that we made in the morning on the SPY are the same lows of day, whereas other things have maybe kind of traveled towards new prices in the meantime. But yeah, that low, that 454, just above that, and we're hovering within that morning range. But that support coming in from previous weeks there, you can see how this 454 area has been acting as support over and over again, kind of printing a little bit of a base there on the spider itself. So yeah, some strong levels to kind of watch out for. Tesla, I'm continuing to watch this right now. I'm looking for other things to kind of dabble into. Again, like I said before, trading TMS, kind of getting those reps in for tomorrow. I want to get some wins underneath my belt. I want to get some, by wins, I don't mean winning trades. By wins, I mean good decision making. That's the definition of wins for me right now. So if I can make good decisions, that's a win for me for the rest of the day. I do not really care about I guess the P&L as much. Again,
well,
not exactly, not as attached, right? Not as attached. We talked about that.
The only suggestion is anybody that's in sim mode to do exactly like what Obi was saying there, just make the decisions, because the share size you're using is irrelevant. It's not real. Like I'm short 100,000 shares of Google, man. I can't believe I just made $50,000. I mean, it's like I'm 50 cents in the money.
Now do that live.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So if I'm live and I have 50,000 shares of Google, if that goes in the money 10 cents, Obi, boom. You know, I'll be sitting there, collect those rebates on 50,000 and take 10 cents over and over and over again.
I've seen guys on the tape take rebates on large caps for over 50,000, sometimes even 100,000 share MEMEX orders, MIAX orders. Absolutely wild. Imagine the rebates on those. Like, bro, you're thinking like, go ahead. Yeah. You're thinking like, okay, the price is coming in. I want to supply that demand, and you sit in the way with your rebate, and you know with a high probability that all that rebate is going to get filled.
I used to rebate trade with 100,000 shares.
Damn.
When rebate trading made sense. Now it makes no sense. So we could talk about that later, or I can argue about it with Neil when he comes back. It doesn't matter. So anyways, the idea behind that is exactly what you were saying, is that goes to market structure. You know, and there are rebate trading strategies where you could just sit there and lock them. Now you can't lock the market. What I was talking about when I used to trade it is when there was really no Reg NMS, and you could have like an EdgeX on the bid and an ARCA on the offer at the same price.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about bigger shares. I'm not right now. Like I said, I don't think that that's something wise to do now, but whatever, to each their own as we go. Okay, so just real quick, I'm back into a trade that you just saw me all losing, and unfortunately we may be losing again on this one now, because Carvana, I just want to see it around this $40 mark, and like getting out for 30-40 cent hits, unfortunately, is what I have to do, and we didn't take it that much the first time, but we did lose on it. I tried it again and lost like 10 cents, but then I'm just like, you know what, if we break below here 70, then let's get out. Otherwise, let's try to ride with this Russell Wilson style, and let's ride if we can go on that one. Let's ride. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. We do also have Google to the downside. We're riding that. That's 40, 50 cents. But a position that all y'all don't understand about, because it's not on the board right here, I did short GBTC. So we do have a problem showing the pink sheets on the board, but you know, if we ever take them, I'll talk about this one for sure, and that's GBTC. So again, here comes Bitcoin. I'm trying to watch this. It is starting to It is trying to move in just a little bit back down. I'm trying to play it off 42,000. Again, like all I'm doing is I'm watching this upside a little bit, and I have different charts going. This is, a 10-second chart for Bitcoin to try to watch it as well. But look at this. It's a level 2 game right now on this, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm trading this anything other than this level 2. The high of the day right now for GBTC is 60s. It's saying 33.90, but I'm just looking at 60 right here in the high of this afternoon. We got going earlier, so there is higher highs. But right into there, I'm looking at this 33.60 area or so. That actually might be, no, that is the high. So that is the high of the day. Sorry, we must have a bad print high side. So if we break that, I just want to get out. I do not want to stand in this way. We do have an ARCA gateway chasing this up, but I'm looking at 60 right now. You see our best outs is 55. So it hasn't been a huge trade, but I am in this waiting to see. Look what I've traded today. Apple, AMD, Carvana, now GBTC, Google, Palantir, Rivian. We're still in Shopify. We traded Uber. So there's lots of opportunities. You just got to find out what's best for you. So I'm going to watch out for this. If this does break through 60, I'm punching out immediately. I do not want to be in this at the high of the day. I just want to show everybody that I am trading a little bit of BTC here, and it's in way of, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, I cannot get my mute in time for that. But if it does break 60 right now, I'm getting ready to rock and roll and punch out of that one. As Google's still in the money there, and Carvana's just hovering around 40 bucks, telling me to relax a little bit. So we'll relax. We'll wait for that one. CGC, new high of the day. I mean, I averaged back in, and I tried to check it during the midday, and I actually forgot to do that, my cannabis positions right now. So we'll wait. But I'm just anxious for GBTC because if this breaks 60, we're going to go out of it, and we may flip in over to the long as well.
Nice. Yeah, I just want to. Well, we were talking about those gates. I was reading up on how the certain opportunities were before, I guess, decimalization, and even before that. Where,
I wasn't here for that.
Where it was similar to kind of what you were talking about, where like the gates would have different prices, and you can just arb on those gates at certain times. Where it's if there's a mismatch
by gates, you
of
mean
buyers,
gateways, just letting people know.
Yeah. So if there's like an ARCA seller at 181 and there's an ARCA buyer at 180 and they're kind of crossed, you can literally just sit there and just fill both sides over and over again, and all it takes is just a keystroke. And people have done that in the past, which is absolutely crazy and sounds ridiculous for right now. But I think that's what a lot of these algos are kind of doing, but with pennies and even fractions of pennies, right? So maybe just like that quick ARB kind of trade there. But yeah, before decimalization, you could sit at the half and then cover at the dollar and just do that, cover at the quarter and just keep on doing that over and over again, right? So it's just like that. Those were definitely some wild times.
Yeah, they come in and change that. So.
But similar game, different magnitude, I think is the right way to put it. Still, ARBs are still going on. Maybe it's the game has definitely drastically changed. But I think for the better, for the worse, I don't know. But we try to stay as adaptive as possible and try to welcome new changes to the markets. Again, I think what was that documentary, Floored? Have you seen that?
I have not,
Floored?
But I should see
yeah,
it.
it's pretty funny. It was talking about what the main value I kind of got out of it was a lot of these traders were very adamant about their ways of trading, right? They were like, oh, we can't switch over to computers. This makes no sense.
Right.
And it was just like,
and now they're all unemployed, or?
Yeah, well, they didn't, a lot of them weren't able to adapt. They had to find different jobs and stuff like that. But I think those that did survive had a very open-minded look at the change. And they were like, all right, it's a new challenge. We are traders. Again, you can
never
speak on this more.
Yourself.
Yeah, you have to stay adapting, right? And that's part of being a trader. It's like if you can't stay adaptive, if you don't have adaptive qualities in the strategy that you trade, then it can be difficult to kind of adapt to changing markets. You can't really necessarily tweak a strategy that doesn't work anymore, right? So it's like, or just methods, right? Just being open-minded to new structure. Like a lot of people are saying that, oh, crypto this, crypto that. but Bitcoin's up 150% on the year. If it moves and it makes money,
right, follow
then
the money,
like
man.
you can make money off of it. Like it's liquid, it's valid. It's like people are cashing out, people are cashing in. So it's like where are the moves and how's the money made? And as traders, you have to constantly think of that and stay on your feet, I think. And Floored, I think it's free on YouTube. Again, it's an old documentary. I think it's definitely worth a watch there. A lot of psychologies to pick up on, a lot of values. Take a look at the people that didn't make it and the way they were talking, the way they were like really unaccepting to change. And those that did make it, kind of, they were like, all right, bring on the new challenge. We're willing to hop onto computers. It's a documentary about how pit traders moved up into offices and started trading on computers. And it was like the firms were trying to help them as much as possible.
I'll have to watch that because
it's a great one.
year or so, roughly?
I don't know, but I'll look it up right now. Yeah, I'll look it up
because
right
when I'm on YouTube, I mean, I'm only watching, I'm kind of just watching like one thing,
Hola.
Yes.
Like and subscribe today.
Yeah, so I never, I don't watch anything else on YouTube, obviously. Surprised you do. No, it's a great resource. Shout out to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so in being true to my word, of course, there it is. There's the flip up into the long now for GBTC. We got out at 60s now. We flipped over to the long. Unfortunately, it's not really doing much as crypto's not doing a heck of a lot either. But we did take out the high of the day there on GBTC. So maybe if we can break through 42, then we will get something going on Bitcoin. But right now we're long. And I'll just tell you, we're long at 60. So you can see we went in and out there. That was a pretty good trade down near 32 and change. That might have been 41.5 or the first time we were at 42. And then right now, just to show you what we did, we went short, got out. That was wrong, went long, took like 3 or 4 pennies. Then went short off 60s as we were just explaining to everybody. Got that out around 55, but still held about half. It's not moving. Like I wish it would move a lot. And then there's the two, you can see there's 2 punch outs there. I guess we got one at 50. I don't know. Anyways, they're both near 60 and change. So now we just took one piece out at 64, and then we just got a 65. As you can see, it's fading out a little bit now. So maybe there's not too much in this trade right now, but if I was listening to everything Obi said, but you might have saw me sort of darting over here. It's because I was watching out for this. And the liquidity is nice. There's hundreds of shares going through. I don't think that's the problem. It's just the spread is just not great. So if Bitcoin does start to break down, which is why I'm watching it, then I will have to assess this trade because I don't need to get burned up on that one. All right, so right here, I don't know why I said why I did it like that, but all right, there it is. We'll take some more on this one. We'll go awesome for crypto because there it goes. So we'll see if it goes up all the way back up to the upside right now for Google and for crypto. As here we go. Now we just took out 42,000 on Bitcoin, so hopefully we can let this guy ride. See, even though it just goes up to the upside, it's still stopping here. So we'll see what happens with crypto.
Yeah, so I found the little the year is 2009 that it came out at, and yeah, a little quick clip of these the old trading pits right there, kind of happening. But yeah, great documentary. 6.7 on IMDb, but I don't know. Some of these ratings are starting to be a little bit bought and paid for, in my opinion. There. So, but regardless, some solid documentary on the trading, on significant changes in the trading world that happened in the early 2000s, where like a lot of pit traders had to move to the digital trading markets, right? So. Some strong changes for sure. And
what
then
was the year, did you say?
2009 was when it was released.
Okay, good.
So early 2000s. Here goes Apple through 189. We kind of got out that little. I guess we weren't really holding anything, but yeah, just into that 189. Just got out the rest, but it seems like it is kind of continuing to the upside. As I don't know if you saw there, Sean, 15.8, a little bit of a wick bottom there. Holding on to that 15.8, very nice. Maybe some buying pressure coming in off of that level potentially there. I'm seeing, and yeah, reflecting in Apple as well as Softy. Let's take a quick look at Meta. Now, I think I spoke on this last week, where we were talking about how I like to follow constituents of the ES and the NQ, and slowly over the past few months, Meta has creeped back up into like position number 4 or 5. I think. Let me just quickly search that up.
Sure.
And but yeah, I think it's good to stay adamant on keeping a watch on these constituents. As again, right here. So let me just close that. And, that's not the right one, but weight analysis is not the right one. We'll go to NASDAQ 100 companies right here. So right here. So you can see that by weight. Price by weight of the NASDAQ 100, it goes Apple, Softy, Amazon, Nvidia, and then Meta, and of course Google is up there as well, as it's 2 tickers, right? So it comes close to 6%, placing it above Amazon. So the true order is Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta. So a little bit of top 5, top 6 action going on there on those specific names. Now again, that's why I like to look at those names specifically. As again, take a look at this chart here. That's the top 5, right? The top 5 or 6. The top 7 companies, the Mag 7, make over 41% of the NASDAQ. So definitely worth a watch in how these entities move relative to each other. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I like to look for there.
All right,
what do you got on watch?
Yeah, I'm just doing the same old stuff here. We got finally GBTC is starting to move around a little bit. We'll see if we can get a nice little bid on that one as well. Carvana, we rang the registers at 30 there. I know it's not that much, but it's at the 50-period moving average. I am going to wait up here at 40.30 or so for Carvana if it does. Or sorry, 40.80, sorry, if it gets back up to that level, I'm already sitting there. Actually, I was at 40.90. I'll just change that a little bit as well. Let's see if it can get back up to the upside and we can go positive on this name. There we go. A bunch of prints just happened at 68 there, so we'll take some outs at 68 as we've reverted into Bitcoin long now on the show. As you guys can't see that, but we are long right now in this name, so we'll see if it can continue to go up. Maybe we get some 70s again. That'd be nice. Back up to the upside now in the money on this one a little bit. And again, like we're just trading everything here. So hopefully you're able to see some of this and enjoy some of the trading. There we go again, another 68 there. As we punch a little bit out, as you can see on that, as we're starting to fade out just a little bit here. Again, take some profits as you start to see some of these moves. Google back in as well right now. Carvana might be in trouble. I thought we had a better opportunity to go there. We didn't. We stopped at the 50-period moving average. Let's see if it goes. To sit here and talk like this market's aggressive, it's not like, look what's happening right now in the NASDAQ. I don't. That's why we look for Carvana. We look for some of these other names, see if we get a little bit of action in them, because for right now, the market is pretty much sleepy time. We could go over some, Q&As or something if people want, but for right now, we're going to watch out for GBTC. That's a Bitcoin long that we have. It's not showing up. Shopify still 40%. What is it? Sarepta is moving around. Is that SPRT? SRPT, I think it is. Yeah, so, oops. Oh, that was, went over to the blue ocean. Here it is right now. So I don't know, is there news on Sarepta right now moving around a little bit? I just see that moving around a little bit. Let's see quickly, Sarepta Pharmaceutical. Okay, nah, just straight up to 87 there. Okay, CRM was maybe a missed opportunity as well. We talked about some dip buys in this one. This is down to 250 again. Not a great report. Well, actually, it was a great report last week. My bad. It just did not act well on that report. So this is still Sarepta. Come on, man, switch it over. Therefore, CRM down 4% today. So again, overly aggressive name here. Not really sure why we're so aggressive there back in, but there was the report coming through for these guys. We talked about getting into this area here, 250. So you're right back into it right now. I just took some out there, unfortunately, at 65 on crypto, as it looks like it doesn't want to go too much more. Here's Bitcoin hits 42,000 again and right back into 41.9. So I did get some more outs off of that long right there. So maybe crypto continues to move. It's 3 o'clock, man, power hour. While it looks like it's snooze hour right now, but maybe we start to kick down a little bit. 22 cents in the money on on Google, maybe that one wants to go. Shopify 45 cents and 20 cents in the money on Carvana as that's trying to go upside as well. Hopefully Carvana will go, and that could get some excitement here into the close.
Yeah, I just saw a name in the chat that I haven't seen in a while there. Now I just want to check if it's doing some decent volume before bringing it in. Not really. It's not really doing too much. But cassava, somebody in the chat was talking about cassava. But yeah, it's not really doing too much. Relatively low volume with respect to what the average volume is. So yeah, nothing too crazy there. But did take a quick scalp there on the Tesla when it kind of comes in, it pops back up into this kind of interim range, and then it gets really aggressive. So quick scalp through the 237, but just as fast as it kind of bid up, it kind of stalls right there. So I'm like, all right, that was literally a tape scalp. We're only in there for 10-15 seconds, and we're out of there as it kind of comes right back in on that crazy move there. But yeah, don't really trade some of these names very often, but gotta stay with the same concepts there. Gotta stay on our feet. Tesla does move a lot faster relative to Amazon there, but I think the same supply-demand mechanics can be implemented on any ticker. That's just an opinion of mine. But it seems like that 237 staying a little bit heavy there as we kind of we've attempted to push through that 237 quite a few times there, and every time we do, we don't really get too far as that 237 half, a little bit of a double top as well. Lower highs relative to high a day on that Tesla move. So let me know in the chat what you guys are trading today. Some crazy moves today. Again, Bitcoin in play, a lot of crypto names in play, Uber in play. I guess Google now as well with a I was going to say midterm, but intraday news kind of coming out, but the move not really doing anything, kind of fizzling off there as you can see where that news came in here, Sean. Look at that volume candle. That's definitely something significant. That's what we got that news on. But take a look at that reference, kind of that pivot that we got off that news coming right back in and holding on top of that level, that 128.5 off of that AI news. So let's see what we do going forward off of that reference price on Google with that news. But it does seem like we're kind of poised for a little bit of a pullback. We've made lower highs on the ES and the NQ, and a lot of these names have started to pull back quite decently here. Yeah, take a look at that. Tesla coming right back into that 236. Oh boy, do I wish I kind of held that 238 short, as we've only made lower highs, right, and lower lows as well. Kind of strong selling coming in off of that level. So clearly that trend that we kind of used to attempt to bounce off of that 234, 235 is clearly broken as the trend as we've gone sideways and now starting to bleed to the downside. A little bit of a tailwind from the market as well as we're pulling back off of lower highs alongside that price action. But yeah, I'm taking a look here at the volume gainers of the day. We know that Sean was involved in Palantir earlier. Let's take a quick look at what Palantir is up to now. That is the wrong one. Oh no, that is the right one. Okay, so right here. Oh wow. We should be shorting nothing else but this name. What do you think? This has only been to the downside, to down and to the right, like Sharif likes to say. A very strong trend. I think is what he's attempting to define there is a very strong trend off that 20. That 20 kind of shows the sellers show their hand underneath that 20 as that pop off of the opening reaction. Attempts for pre-market lows can't really get there. You attempt Friday lows. Are these week lows as well? No, they're not. They're not week lows. But right here, what is week low? Week low is 1863 from last week, and we have also broken below that. So some quite heavy selling as we've negated all the price action of last week here on Palantir today. A very strong sell-off, nice, and towards the lows there. So let's take a look at what else. Again, Mara, we talked about it earlier, that 15, kind of an interesting level. And it seems like we have been kind of knocking on the door multiple times of that 15, not only from the downside, but from the top side as well, kind of signifying that it is an interesting level indeed. Uber, we talked about it. Oh, wow, take a look at that, Sean. Finally kind of below that 59 level there, finally broke down below. So we did kind of test that 61. We couldn't get past it. We make a lower high, and now we're breaking below this this previous support level that we kind of identified. Has it shown up on the day? Not really. It was support was a little bit higher, about 50 pennies higher than that 59 when you do look at that long-term support. So we are kind of negating this level here as of right now with the limited price action that's been printed on the chart. Sure, you have a little bit of a bounce here, a little bit of a consolidation, but not as key as some of these other levels here that have kind of shown themselves support and resistance is what I like to go off of. Mainly. Here comes Amazon right back into that 144. Oh boy, has that 145 been a great place to interact with all day long? A little bit of a short. You can attempt the long, doesn't really get too far, and then when it breaks back below, yeah, the short is definitely on board there as we pull back off of a significant kind of price that we've been chopping and churning around over the past couple of weeks there. So I am looking in the chat here, don't really see any new names, so let me know what you guys have been trading here. I think Darren talking about the Qs. Yeah, we can take a quick look at the Qs. Again, kind of probably very similar to what the NASDAQ is up to as well. Yeah, definitely. So we've made relatively lower highs. We attempt to kind of break or test this higher consolidation from the morning session there, but can't really get too far past it. And we've only made lower highs after that move. A little bit similar kind of action there to Tesla. So interesting looks there. Frosty Russian saying AMC. All right, so AMC. We can take a quick look at AMC. As well, if that'll load. And oh wow, AMC is straight to the upside, which I guess has me questioning what is GME up to if AMC is looking like this. We kind of consolidate in the morning session in and around this $7 level, and we've only been ticking up after making a base near the opening reaction lows at that 680. So let's take a look at our friend GME. And oh wow, yeah, GME. We were talking about this last week, Sean. We were like, okay, if this bounces, this has the potential to get to 20, and we've held levels pretty much, right? We pop, we consolidate. This is a shorted ticker. We know where it's coming from. We talk about that $10 level, and we've hovered above it. Good reasons to cover if you're swing shorting this thing all the way from 500. If you're still holding, I don't think there are many people that are left on that trade, but good trade nonetheless. But yeah, so that 15 hold, that reclaim of some of these prior levels, and a push towards 20. If you do look left on this chart here, you can see how that level can be of potential significance here. Let me just point that out. Yeah, take a look at this. Kind of coming in, we are making consecutively lower highs. This is a monthly chart, so it's been quite a while since we had that crazy GME bonanza. But yeah, a little bit of a pop back into previous support turn of resistance is happening right here underneath that 20 level. So that's what I'm looking for there for a potential, just a relief bounce. The bigger picture is very, very clear on this name.
Good little analysis there, Obi. Thank you so much. Getting a lot of love in the chat. So let's go, man. Ponzi Fonzie wants a shout out. So there it is. Thank you so much, Ponzi, for liking that one. We are now out of GBTC here. It just, again, it's like watching paint dry. And honestly, I'm not down for it. There's nothing happening, but we just got we bought it, we sold it, we bought it. It'll be positive, but unfortunately, it's a cup of coffee today. I mean, I was debating going short right now at 60 on this name as we're starting to fall back in a little bit. And this is what Bitcoin's doing. It's down now to 41,800 basically. But there's the break of 42 that we were hoping for. And then it just didn't come in. So we'll have to get out of BTC and probably should be thinking about flipping over into the short. What's going upside right now, though, and honestly, I'm just running out of patience here. Let's take something out if we could get something at 60 here for Carvana. It just made a nice pretty nice move. And you were just talking about GameStop and watching this market kind of dry out a little bit right now. You know, trade names that are actively moving. So here's Carvana. We can, again, make it all, I should not have put an offer. If I didn't, like I didn't have an offer there, we probably should have let sleeping dogs lie, because sometimes when you put out shares, it will see it and then run away. So we'll wait to see if we can get that. We're at 40.60. Let's see if we get a fill on that and leave it alone for now. We already talked about that. The other name is Shopify. That's 50 cents in the money. And then let's just talk about a trade that we're in. Look at Google. We like this name. The market is making lows, but this is going higher. So we're not going to re-add to this. If it takes out the high, fine. We're going to look for something else right now. Google not acting properly at all. Netflix broke the bottom. Okay, let's have a look at that. It says JT37. Shout out to JT37. Maybe it's your favorite number. Maybe it's your age. Shout out to JT37 right now. Yeah, Netflix down 3 points. Wow. The name I was going to look at was Disney. Yeah, this is looking good, man. A little bit of weakness here for Netflix. I don't really know why. We actually sold some Netflix up here. We were actually talking about this last week, and this turns out to have been a good sale up here. Ran right into this level. We, again, talked about it, shared it on the show. I hope some of you saw that. We did get out of some of this, which is why it's interesting now as you come right back into another area of possible support here for Netflix down at 450. I'd like to see a clean 450 break on this name again. I don't want to go short now running into 450. I'd rather it see 450. I mean, an example of that would be NVIDIA as well. Again, you know, it comes right into 450 and bounces. So something to watch out for, a bounce here off of 450 on NVIDIA. AMD, we're starting to get a little bit excited here in the market. Let's maybe go find out why.
This is 5-9 related, but FIVN on a big move here. Apparently some M&A rumors floating around, guys, but 10.5% there at the top. 78 up to 88 here for FIVN, possible buyout.
All right. Okay, possible buyout. We'll have a quick look at that. I just want to talk quickly because honestly, this is the time when being on the show, it doesn't necessarily hurt because look, we're big boys around here. We can make whatever decisions that we want. But like this Uber short is so good right now. We're not in it. So I kind of feel like that sucks because this was a short that we probably could have been in, and no excuse. Being on the show is not an excuse. It's just like, oh man, to have reloaded that and to held the 61 short. And sometimes I'm just, the fact that I'm sitting here talking about the positions and then when it moves back and forth, I get excited. And we've talked about possibly closing your P&L so you don't look at it. But wow, I wish I would have closed the P&L, opened it right now because that's $59 there for Uber. I said we could settle somewhere down here, 58 earlier. It looks like we're getting closer and closer to that exact number. Now I'm feeling like a short up into this level, 59.40 if we can get back for Uber as that continues to make these moves. Wow, to have held that short. And again, like we had it right here. It's on the sticky note. It's all about the Uber short. It's one of the, you know, we only have 3 trade ideas and it's the bottom. Well, we have 4, but it's right at the bottom there, 59 short for Uber, definitely printing back down. So good call, but anyone that held that, what the heck is happening with AMD right now? Still watching out for Carvana. That 50 period, man, if we were just sitting somewhere around this 200, sorry, that would have been a good out. It basically stops right where we didn't notice it until again, this helps me because as soon as the P&L popped up is when we noticed it. Unfortunately, we don't have an out there. That would have been good. I want to look at AMD because it's trending downside right now as this market continues to break. There's AMD breaking 118 downside. This could be a good trade up to that 118.20 possibly. As a short, will the market continue its downside push is really the question right now. We did miss it. AMD does break lower now. This could be a trade that we put on into the close. Breaking through VWAP. I don't mind this one. You're going to have to give it probably 40 cents. So share size accordingly. Google's making the move up on that rumor, but I think the market makes a move down. So let's short this. You like that short? Yeah, 118. All right, let's try small right now on AMD, and then what just popped up into 05, 06 is here. So let's wait to see. Small little short now. Is it a short or not? We're down 2.76%. The market's down. Power hour, more like sour hour, as it's not moving too much, but we are starting to head back down a little bit. Let's short this until something up here. 30s. We'll use the 50 period MA. I don't know. It's not super clean. I'm not super convinced about this, but I think for risk to reward, if the market does fall down, we know we like to short in the chip names. Let's give this one to 118.30. That's it. Just into this area. Well, that'll be where we short it, and then we'll give it to the 50 period, whatever it is at that time. So starting a short position now in advanced micro devices.
Yeah, so I pulled up the name that that Brendo kind of pointed out there, and it is going absolutely wild there, Sean.
Right.
Kind of, I'm watching it here, and it's like it literally teleported up a full point. Now, not too crazy size there, clearly, as I'm holding it almost a point against me, but I just got to wait for this to kind of settle down to see if this is a little bit of an overreaction there. But again, midday kind of news. I think Brendo said a little bit of a buyout rumor, maybe changing the price there as well. So yeah, maybe I did get a little bit short on a bit of a stall, but it seems like it keeps on kind of bidding up a little bit there. So I'll continue watching this. Nothing too crazy on right now, but again, we're watching. I'm watching Tesla as well. That 236 kind of it was a good place to kind of buy earlier, and it's showing up once again as a potential bid as of right now. But this FIVN craziness, man. I got short at 89.22s. Not for crazy. Again, just a reminder, we're just trading on TMS right now, but trying to get those good decisions and those good reps in. But this volatility is absolutely crazy. It's teleporting like 30, 40 pennies at a time around this level. So I think it definitely worth a watch. I don't know about a dabble, but definitely worth a watch. Some crazy volatility here, as I think a new potential bio price rumored, right? I was watching Amazon as well. That 144 area, where is VWAP? I'm asking. 144.30 is that VWAP area there on Amazon. So it's still kind of it's chopping and churning, holding in and around that level there. Ash is saying, let's see, GME continues to rip upside in the power hour. Yeah, for sure, GME is moving around really nicely here, and yeah, I am watching it alongside all these other names as well. Again, AMC, another great one as well. So as this FIVN kind of knocks on the door of 90 and continues to blast off, yeah, we definitely got to get out of this one. But again, like I said, nothing too crazy yet. I am waiting for the backside, if it's even going to be there. But getting short on a buyout rumor, maybe not the best strategy there. What do you think, Sean? Front side, a little bit.
I haven't even looked at it. You know what? So this again goes back to everybody's different strategies, right? It's like kind of like, if you want to short a buyout rumor, that's fine. It's just you got to have reasons why, and if you have an out, then you should respect it. That's all I have to say about that one. The only problem also too is, Obi, I know you're in sim mode, but it's the other risk about shorting or trading potential buyouts like that is the halt. You know, because it could get announced and that's it. Yeah. And then whatever short you have, you could be out 40%. Yeah. Like, because, you know, who knows? I'm just, again,
risk is definitely there.
Yeah, the risk is there for the short whenever you're talking, of course, about buyouts. So as long as we all understand that, then we are fine. All right, so, I mean, nice, but it's come back in. Nice to get the fill. That's for sure. But, you know, again, we sat there, we took it, we told you we were sitting there. So, again, this is just Carvana. It's going to move like that. So as we see it there, watch out to see what happens with CVNA. It's 322. We have Michael Noss coming on the market recap. I don't know. I'm not sure if we have any earnings today. I actually have not even looked. We didn't talk too much about earnings earlier. Where is my, here it is. Here's the earnings calendar right now. Let's look at it together so we can see what kind of fun we're going to have today. Oh, so much fun. I also do have the Monday Night Football play. We killed it last time on Thursday night where we had the Dallas team total over 27.5, whatever it was. It flew over. The final score was like, I don't know, Dallas and Seattle, whatever that final score was. It was huge. Last week. So we have another play for you tonight. Don't worry. It's going to be a good one. It is another prop bet. So get ready for that one. Okay, oh, wait a minute, HUD 8, that was before market open. This is December 4th, of course, as we look. So I don't really see too much today, December 4th. We'll see if there's anything after market close. GitLab, it looks like, GTLB, that should be exciting for after market. And then as we continue to go here, it doesn't look like there's really anything else. Nothing else with a B behind it. We already had HUD 8. We talked about that. Not only that, but they also split today, and nothing else coming. So GitLab plus me, plus Michael Noss, plus lots of fun coming. So GTLB after market close today. All right, so just watching out for this name. Not really much happening, so we will continue to look out for it. It's AMD, trying to get back into this 30s. That's where I don't mind shorting it, but look at the market. It's floated back up, which is fine by me, man. That's why we take a really small starter position. We're not, like, the net's not even moving. We're waiting for a little bit more coming through right now. 118.30 is where we're trying to get short. In case we don't get up there, I'm hearing some more news about 5.9, so watch out for that one. 118.30s. Let's just short this again. I am waiting for more at 30, but let's short at 20 if we can get it, and then we'll see about breaking through this 30 level up to 50 in order to be wrong. But yeah, I don't want to dig into something that we don't really love. That's going to be AMD right now, as Google goes right back up to the top. Like, what a super aggressive name this Google is, as the market's not moving and Google's going higher. So again, just kind of sitting around, willing to talk about any names you guys want to. So what else do we want to look at? Do you have anything else that's maybe running? I will take a look at GameStop.
No, I'm just watching this this FIVN here. We did kind of pull back in down through that down through the 90. So we got up to 92s, and then yeah, a little bit of a change in pressure there happening in and around that 90 area. I quickly looked up again what the ATR is and what the short interest is, about a 4.5% short interest, an ATR about 3, and off of that news we go from 78s all the way to 92s. So a little bit of some multiples of ATR kind of happening there potentially, and yeah, so I'm gonna stay a little vigilant on this one here for now. But yeah, no, I'm more than willing to look at some other names. I know GME, again, GME, we talked about that. GME kind of coming in very, very strong. These are 15-minute candles, and we've only held above these prior lows there. Kind of, you make that low, you pretty much lick grab Friday's kind of action there, Friday's consolidation for pretty much the whole day. It's only the first two 15-minute candles that gave you a nice long on Friday, but that consolidation hold really nice. Coming in, take a look at that lick grab, happens to be right at 15, so you get that confluence as well, double, triple confluence, and then you reclaim VWAP, and off to the races you are, back up into these highs, 1755, kind of last week's high as well. So interesting action there on GameStop for sure, and again, AMC, of course, we are looking at those as well. I think Roger talking about CGC. I don't know. Did you just cover?
No, we did not talk about.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the marijuanas. Okay, so a little bit of a strong action there coming in on Friday. What is this? Did we have RVOL on Friday? Not really, but we do have RVOL for sure today. Kind of a continuation move off of that. So CGC definitely moving, expanding volume. Let's take a look at a higher time frame here. I want to take a look at the hourly just to take a feel of some of those volume bars if they're actually expanding into it. Okay, so this is good. Kind of a above earnings reaction as well. So very nice there. Kind of earnings highs. You chop and churn, go sideways, don't really do much, but you hop back up on top of these highs right here at the 60, and then off to the races. We're testing, knocking on the door of those 75s. Very, very strong today. I think another name. I guess this is a TSX name, but I guess we can take a quick look at that as well. Canopy Growth. I think
CGC in New York.
Yeah, it's CGC in New York. We just looked at that, but very strong as well. Once again, I know Tilray is another favorite as well. Tilray quite strong on the day. Again, this is the hourly. Let's go back and check a smaller time frame there. So it's held VWAP, so a strong trend off of this morning consolidation happening. And yeah, Tilray, definitely liquid. Last I remember, let's take a quick look and just make sure it's still doing the do. And yeah, so average volume, average 30-day volume is 11 mil, and you're doing about two times that average volume today on Tilray. So definitely a strong reason to kind of look for that trend once we do hold and claim VWAP. Again, running with the rest of these marijuana names as well. Nothing too crazy going on. Tesla pulling back that 236. Again, we had the shorts. I don't want to short down here. That's too much of a chase. But the short was nice off the 238 and the 237 halves as well. And there goes FIVN back to the downside. Let's see how far we can get. Maybe a little bit of a retracement of this level here. I'm going to pull up the tape as well here on FIVN. So we're sitting at 89 to 89.15 is the level one right there on FIVN. So let's see where, if and when this will catch a little bit of a bid. Again, potential. It's just off of potential rumors. I think that's what it was. We did multiples of ATR. 1, 2, 3. That's one ATR. 1, 2, 3. That's two ATRs. And about two more. So a little bit above, almost three ATRs, about a point away from doing three ATRs just off of excuse me, just off of intraday kind of news there. A little bit overextended, sure, yeah, halt risk for sure. But when it extends like that and it hasn't really halted on the way up, I think that it's worth taking a shot for that reversion back down. Again, I think in my playbook, that's a little bit of a classic reversion kind of play of an outlier move, which is relatively different from the rest of the price action we've been having all day. Yeah, take a look at this, kind of 80s come in. It's been downtrending all day. It's kind of tight in the range, so a lot of shorts may be accumulating on this as well. We talked about that ATR and the short interest. Let's take a quick look at what that average daily volume is as well on the day. So let's pop it up in here. So average daily vol is 1.4, and we're doing above average daily vol off of that move. So I think that's pretty significant. You can see that crazy volume significantly different. These volume bars towering over the rest of the bars on the day. Kind of, you can barely even see them. So I think it's valid to look for a pullback down into VWAP. That is a pretty, I think, standard trade in my reversion playbook.
All right, just quickly, man, Google broke through 129. We got out. I mean, that's right. And unfortunately, there's not much happening at all right now. And I remember when Google was down here, we had that 10% left on this trade, and it kept on just drifting up, and we're like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, the market wasn't doing anything, and Google just kept on doing that. So we should have, again, remember we talked about it on if you were here on the midday, we were talking about like having like that sense that you kind of feel like you're not doing something right. And then here it goes with AMD again. We're giving back some here in the afternoon. As the market, we're just picking the wrong stocks. Like I'm trying to pick some names that I thought were relatively weak against a weak market. But here we go, man. The market's starting to go back up to the upside right now. So it looks like AMD, we're short at 21s. I want to get out on a little bit more of a break through 40s right now. So it looks like we're getting very, very close to testing that spot. That's 61 if you really, really want to get with it. I just don't want to give back everything here. Not that we're giving back everything, but I don't want to. And if I hold this all the way to 60, and then I'll probably average into it, so that it's not going to be good. We'll get out of 75% of this, and then we'll see what happens back up here at 60. But right now, it is starting to get upside here, and that is AMD. As the market's starting to go, we will get that number from Brendo in a second with whatever the imbalances are. But here we go. A little bit of a break right now. That's the 50 period. So it looks like, oh, there we go. We just did get out of a little bit of that now, as it just continues to make moves higher. So we'll slap another fail on that last little reload there for AMD. We're not out of it all. Hopefully this comes back in and makes a little bit of money, but I'm not just going to hold this thing drifting upside again. Trying to find something here, and it's just not. Spotify, we knew we wanted that one. Yeah, look at this. We knew we wanted that 197 break. It looks like it hits VWAP, and this name on VWAP is working. Hits it there, and back in. And that's what I said. Sometimes you're going to take shots on names, and they're not going to work out for you. And some days they are. Well, that AMD's ripping up. And of course, like out of everything, AMD's moving more than Carvana. Google's moving more than Carvana. Everything as Carvana just sits here. Good thing we got a little bit in and out there with that top take at 40, but it doesn't look like anything else. Darwin just gave the early mock. It's a 562 to buy. So yeah, NVIDIA just decided to blast without you. That's what just happened to me on AMD. It's deciding to go. So, oops, NVDA, NVDS, NVDS. What the heck is that? NVDA right there. Might be an NVIDIA short or something. Look at this, all the way back up. So again, like, there we go. We talked about 451. And remember, you guys also gave us that Netflix trade down here at 450. And I was like, nah, let's wait until we get to 450. Good thing that happened because that's also bouncing back up. But if you look at the NASDAQ, see, this is normally where I'd be like, let's flip long. But we flipped short when we were underneath and then we came back up. And now the long looks like it wants to work. So, forget about it. This doesn't look like there's much happening. Apparently you are muted, Obi, in case you want to say something, but that's okay for now. Netflix back in. I mean, what a softy. Amazon's popping. People, I mean, I love Microsoft. 370 right now. A little bit of a pop. Yeah, there's a little bit of a pop happening everywhere. I'm not sure what we want to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I think something to note, again.
71 for Microsoft. Not yet.
Yeah, I think something to note is that SPY has been holding. We talked about the strength of the SPY. We held kind of those morning lows there. On the SPY, and take a look at what the spider is doing here. Take a look at that VWAP hold kind of coming into play. That VWAP hold also kind of confluencing that initial kind of dip hold, confluencing with that pre-market low, which happens to be kind of opening reaction low as well, just at that 455 half. Right there. So that VWAP hold, consolidation, chop, keeps on getting bought up. At VWAP, has nowhere really else to go, and we're getting a little bit of a relief for the longs back to the upside there. Let's see how far this move can potentially go. It is pretty choppy on VWAP, so it seems like we are kind of interacting with VWAP there. And there's that second cover on the FIVN short as it comes a little bit back down into that 88. Damn, I think I covered some in the half there, and it kind of came all the way down into the 88s, or relatively close to that 88. So let's take a quick look there on the FIVN trade. Okay, so yeah, it's starting to slow down a little bit there. But again, slow down. What is slowing down? The buying pressure off of this crazy move there. So let's see how much of a relief we can get. We're just looking for a potential VWAP. It doesn't necessarily have to get all the way back down, right? If the sentiment is that this is going to hold, I think I looked at the news there. What is it? This is all the way from November 20th, but. I don't think I have the updated news on here specifically, but again, we're not really trading that. We're trading more of just the mechanics of the move here, potentially from what I'm seeing and observing in terms of outlier strength on the day caused by a catalyst, which is again more rumor than it is facts.
Let's quickly go to Brendan just for something. No means to interrupt.
Not quite as exciting, but Roblox, guys, back to day highs here, 2.5% on the day. They just announced a new annual subscription fee, Sean, that you're about to start paying.
Ooh. What stock? Ooh. Oh, Roblox. Oh, annual? All right, I'll pay annual. Yeah, that's fine. Better than the monthly, man, that's for sure. I'll see what happens with that one. I love Roblox, honestly, as a stock. Some of the graphics and everything and I know it's not like, it's not meant to be crazy graphics, but there's some crazy, like I was there with my kid, something called Blackout or something like that. There's a new game for Roblox, and I was looking at it, I'm like, this is Roblox? Like, I remember playing it like Bloxburg and all this kind of stuff. It looked pretty gangster, but this new one looked real good, man, and it was, some of the graphics on Roblox are pretty hot right now. That's all I have to say. I was very surprised at the quality of some of these Roblox ideas. And as a shareholder, I'm happy with it. So nice move to the upside here for Roblox. Obviously subscription based. I love that kind of a model. And if they can start to monetize some of that, then yeah, that's a good one there for sure. We did get a little stoppy there. That means stopped out on Carvana, but we bought it right back in again as we're now again, we're not even going to wind up being that down on Carvana, even though every single trade I take is a stop out, it seems like. But we're right back in at this exact same level, 39.70. It did kind of hold. We got a little silly with it. So let's see if it gets back up to the upside. There we go. So again, this is why it's tough to follow some of the trades that I'm doing for sure. We knew we wanted the AMD short. Remember, we didn't get out of it all, but we did get out of some when it broke through 30, right? So getting out of some right there made sense to me before we took out the 200 period. Now, we came right back into this 60 level, so we shorted it again right there. So now that it falls back down in, I feel like we should probably take some profits. It was just down to 40s. I did put a bid out there, and let's just put another one. It seems like it doesn't even want, there we go, we got some 48s there as it flashed back down. But we're only short right now at 50, so let's start to take a little bit out. It's an average position, so hopefully we can get back in and make all this back if the market does fall back into the 50-period moving average, which is right here at 30. So let's stick some bids there. Down in and around 30. We don't have to go exactly at 30, but if we can get something, that would be great, back in around 30. And then we'll see about a downside move into VWAP. But look at the market, still holding relatively high. There you go. Okay, Carvana, I see you right now. I don't mind this trade at all. Okay, Carvana. All right, we'll take some out there. They're starting to bounce a little bit. Now 30 cents in the money on CVNA, so we're starting to take that back from them here. So good move there. Good move for AMD as we're back into the 40s here. Let's put a bid out and take a fill there on AMD. All right, what? Oh, oops. I did not know we had this fill right there, but we did. So we got a 42 and then a 40. Okay, we'll take it for now. My bad. I did not realize we had that. That's probably a stuck order from when we were trying to get out the first time. So now let's wait to see what happens back in. We're making the money back a little bit here. Thank God Carvana is going because that would have been pretty nasty, man. So many attempts down there before finally getting it right. So again, trading different names differently. So Carvana, I realized that we had to stop at the wrong price there. You see, it came right back into the exact level. So I just went long off that stop. I put 75. The stop is actually a break of 70. So let's see if Carvana can get going. This one's looking a gift horse in the mouth because we could have easily been stopped out for everything. So we are now out of 30% of our reloaded value here.
Yeah, I think nothing is more interesting to me right now than this FIVN kind of trade here. Again, classic. I'm just staring at the tape here. There's some beautiful, beautiful tape happening. Just chopping around. Look at the size. Just eat through the book every now and then. It is absolutely beautiful. We were short from 90s. We let it go a little bit against us, but when it came right back in, we added more than double kind of into that trade, and it comes right back into that 88, 86, and we cover most of it. We're just holding on to the last piece there. Now again, just taking reps. Nothing too crazy, but the trade is definitely, I think, like I said, the reversion is, you can't have a cleaner setup, in my opinion, just for a quick reversion scalp, and it's coming into fruition very nicely here. And again, yeah, sure, there is halt risk, but the fact that it did almost 3x ATR off of that news and didn't really halt on the way there and starts to slow down, I think that keeps us a little bit safer as well. And yeah, just holding on to that last piece. VWAP is all the way down at 85.50s. And yeah, we'll just hold on to that one to see if it can even make it there. That would give us roughly about a 50% reversion. Take a look at this. We'll do some quick measurements while the price kind of heads down towards there right here. So take a look at that. The pop off of that news is about 13.75 points, right? So 13.75, we're looking for about half of that. So we're looking just over 7 points to the downside. What do we get if I can catch that right here?
This is all my bad.
I can catch that right here. Okay, and we're looking for, so we've gotten about five 5.5 points to the downside, and take a look at that. VWAP just happens to be roughly just under 7 points, 6.5 roughly, it would seem, as that pullback kind of comes into VWAP. So a real 50% retracement would take us below VWAP, which could, again, catch some more sellers, cause some more sellers to kind of come right back in. Again, people probably chasing this move, thinking it's going to go to the moon, thinking it's going to halt up. And that's great, but when the tape shows me what it did, I do want to get short and give it a nice wide risk, give it the risk that the trade deserves. And yeah, sometimes that's 1 point, sometimes that's 2 points, but when it's giving you 6 points on the other side, I'm more than willing to take that risk. But yeah, so let's see how far we can get down here into that 86 on FIVN. Solid setup. Again, unfortunately, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, oh damn, why am I not in live? I'm just like, damn, the opportunity cost for making dumb decisions in the morning, and you get a beautiful setup that just pops up randomly middle of the day, and it gives you $4 or $5. Damn. Definitely got to be one for the journal for tonight for sure.
I just, I was talking with Marissa here on a chat. I was like, damn, man, I should just definitely lower the shares on the afternoon, especially when we see some opportunities like that. Like, sorry about that for my wife there, because she has to put up with a lot of crap from me. Okay, so we just got out right now. Finally, an exited trade there on Shopify. We held about 15% or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outs, and then one last piece. As you know, we thought lower. We broke just above the 200 period and started taking that out. So again, well traded. I mean, I don't have any problem with Shopify. It is going to be a top name for me today again. My number one trade today, despite doing this on Google and losing for everybody here in the afternoon, which kind of sucks. Google is definitely a top name. I mean, we hit that short, we hit that short, we hit that short, and then just lost now. But basically another top name there, so I'm pretty happy with that one. And then AMD, I mean, it just came in. We were able to get something down here near the 40s. My best out is 40, and look at this, climbing right back up to the upside again. And I didn't even, you might have heard me under my breath there, I was like, my bad, I didn't even realize the time. Like, it's 3:44 right now, and that's like getting into this. And we talked about how dramatic some of these imbalances can be. And last week we had a day where it was the it was the first of the month. It was, yeah, that's right, because it was a Friday, the first, and we had 6.5 billion worth of notional, sorry. When you add this all up, now this is only going to include right now New York names. Despite seeing a NASDAQ name here, anything that's going to be NASDAQ is going to be from the morning. Everything else is going to get updated right here. So it was 500 or so million to buy. So we'll see if that changes. I'm not really seeing any significant names on there. We had Palantir down to 1850 already today. That's very, very low for PLTR. You see, we were long early, then we flipped over to a short, made some money back. Palantir is going to be a positive name, but not by much today, as that is a sell side imbalance. I just didn't realize that we are running out of time, okay? So time is your friend until the market closes, and you'll join me on the Market Recap Show and Michael Noss as we talk everything. I've already given some ideas. We're going to talk about some Uber, some additions and some subtractions like Solar Edge coming out, which is kind of funny because although Solar Edge comes out of the S&P 500, it's having a decent day today. I thought up a couple percentage points. Yeah, now only up 1 as it's faded off of those highs as well. And then HUD 8. I didn't get out of anything today. I still do own this, as that's been an okay stock into the afternoon. But again, just waiting for this to settle down, as it was reverse split. And we know what happens with reverse splits, man. They go up and then they come rifling right back down. And by the way, Carvana looks like, you know, making a nice move to the upside. So we'll respect that. But more moves hopefully coming now for Carvana, as I look to see, again, something about here, man. What about 40.50? Let's see if Carvana can get a little bit of a bump here into the close.
This is teetering in and around this 86. So you know what? I'm just gonna take off most of it right there. Again, like I said, sat here, told you, but got a little lucky. The reversion happened pretty much very, very clean. Strong selling all the way back down from 92s to 86 right into VWAP. Sure, can it go more? That's fine. The plan was to take it into VWAP, so I'm done covering into that 86. But I am looking at the book here. The book is looking a little bit fugazi there, as maybe the L1's a little crossed with the actual book there. But I am watching this trading view window as well, kind of coming right into VWAP there, 85.90s coming right in. So we talk about that 50% retracement. We've pretty much done that 50% retracement, give or take half a point there, off of just a quick reversion on that FIVN. So that's I guess I was looking for that next trade. I think that's a pretty decent one to be gifted with from Mother Market. And yeah, we don't really hold most of it down into the VWAP as we started covering 88s. 87s, and then finally on top of 86, and it's starting to catch a little bit of a bid. You came into that 86. What do you call? Oh wow, my book is all sorts of messed up here, but it seems like we're trading back above 87 here. This is showing that we're still underneath 87. So I don't know what the right stuff is, but it seems like things are getting a little spicy on this tape here on FIVN as we go along. So that's it for me on that name. I'll look at where we ended at the end of the day there, but I think that was a solid reason to short, solid reversion kind of opportunity on the day. So let's go back to some of the names that we were looking at earlier. I know I was in the middle of talking about Amazon when I did kind of move over there. We were talking about how that 144 is kind of coming right back in, but you reclaim VWAP and now you're chopping right back up to that 145. We talk about the level being a little bit of a magnet. And what does it do? It kind of comes into VWAP, it pops right back into 145. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I could definitely be recycling this number, kind of farming in and around this price action into the 145, whether that's long or short, coming into it from both sides seems to be what price likes to do over the past couple of weeks. Yeah. I'm going to be looking at the, what do you call, Apple and NVIDIA going into the close as well. We talk about how strong they were. NVIDIA kind of pulling back down off of 2 weeks of selling, right? Kind of continuation selling happening here. Just want to point that out a little bit here. So I think the beginning of this week, how we close, and then going further into this week is, I'm definitely curious about both of those situations. If we continue to print to the downside on the weekly, I think that, of course, you would potentially have to negate Monday's price action in order to print further reds there on the week. So let's take a quick look at the week. There, so okay, so maybe a little bit of a gap down, not the best there. So potential for coming back into some of this range, week close from previous week and the week low from previous week as well. But imbalance coming out.
Yeah, we have 10 seconds right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're going to be out in just a second here with these imbalances. So we will join you and be able to see what's going on with them right now. As here we go, we're already in Carvana. Intel looks like it's going to be a bid. We are into AMD. It looks like that's going to the upside as well. We'll wait to hear what this final number is, but it looks like it may be a decent sized buyer. Intel bids, man. Apple bid. This AMD is going to get cracked for sure. Everything looking like it wants to go bid side. Wow, it's a big one again. 2.6 billion to buy. There goes Apple. Probably there goes Intel. We are in an AMD short. We just started covering again before the number came out. We said let's roll to see where it goes. If we're not heavy in this. Hopefully this doesn't go too much higher than where we are right now, but breaking back above 119, and we did talk about this, could happen when you get these moves coming at 350. So hopefully some of you aren't caught too much in that move, but Carvana was a pretty good one. We got out right before. We only have 40%, well, we still have 40% of it. 6 outs there, our last out right there at 25. Just before the number came out and we threw it back over to Obi, that's at 346. We got another out, but it's kind of still in the zone right here. Definitely able to watch it. Here comes a little bit of a pullback. We were waiting at 87 there to get short against 20 or 119, but that doesn't look like that's coming in here. And we'll just maybe get out as that number was 2.6 billion to buy and kind of leaving me a little sleepy right now. So we'll wait. AMD trying to pull back in. That's going to be a good one. Carvana, we can start by punching some out on this. There we go. We get some 11s there as we punch a little bit more out there on Carvana. You could see. So hopefully it will rip back. But so right now, it'll be a nice day for us. Just trying to fit it all in here underneath 4 o'clock, and make sure you join me. You don't have to do anything to the stream. We will be going live once again here in the after show with Michael Noss. We'll talk all things trading again and talk about some movers and shakers here today and review some of the ideas that he had from the morning as well. So get that going, man. Hit the like and the subscribe.
Subscribe today.
All right, Obi, here we go, man. It's 3:52 right now. Great talk there about some of the buyouts. A lot of people liked some of that trading that you just had right there. And again, you know, thank you for joining today. I know it was a little bit of a rough start, but you definitely made some killer trades here this afternoon.
I think I've achieved the goal that I wanted after getting slapped around in the market. I was like, my goal for the end of day session is to make the best decisions that I can. And I think that again, the journal is definitely going to be getting a little bit of ink tonight from the review, because yeah, whether they're reps, whether they're trades in live, the mindset should be very similar, because you want to protect the mental as much as possible. If you hop into training mode and you just start blasting anything and everything that moves, being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna practice trading. That's not how it's gonna work. You got to stick with the plan. You got to stick with your structure. You got to stick with your decision making. You got to be self-aware of all of those things and make sure you don't mess up your mental by doing that. And the only way to do that is to just have the same mindset. Be like, this is what I'm risking on the trade. This is where I want to get in, and I'm going to let the idea cook. And if it cooks, it cooks. And if it burns, it burns. That's perfectly fine. That's part of what we are trying to do here as best as possible. And by we, I mean especially me. But yeah, I've gotten much better with kind of, we were talking about last week about main focus kind of being preserving the capital, not losing as much. I think that's one of my main goals, kind of keeping what you have and being nimble as possible when the market kind of shows you that it probably doesn't want to go in that direction anymore, not really holding on and hoping. But yeah, it's been a crazy day indeed. Strong action in the morning, nice reversion on the markets, about a 50% reversion back into those highs. That bid came right back in. So we talked about kind of that 16. You came all the way down to 17, and you've done about 150 points roughly back to the upside, going through that 15.8 as well, knocking on the door of that 15.9. So you can see we've recovered about 50% of that range there. But again, that sentiment isn't necessarily reflected very similarly on the rest of those names. Okay, so that 145, a little bit of a sell-off coming in there. Let me pull up the tape here on Amazon as well. Yeah, so that 145 still, man, it still stays a decent place to kind of interact, whether that's a long or short, given other confluencing data there. And yeah, that Tesla 237 seems to be holding as a resistance as well, kind of all day. Kind of a resistance. Yeah, that churn. We got underneath that 238, and then we couldn't really get back above that 237.5 distinctly, and we've only made lower highs relative to that. So maybe going forward during this week, we're looking for that continued kind of downtrend. I'm definitely going to be keeping in mind NVIDIA, today's low, which again, it's the week low right now at that 450.80s. So if we are to print a continued down week on this week, we're going to be negating these prices potentially sometime during the week. Now, of course, you can always bid back up. This doesn't necessarily have a top wick, which I am noting as well. Maybe we make that top wick and then come right back in to these levels, giving us a similar size on that weekly candle to the downside, a little bit of a healthy price action overall. Potentially kind of back into the bottom of the trend. I think we defined kind of these levels earlier last week, that 400 support, and that 500 resistance on the NVIDIA consolidation that we've been having. Again, very, very strong on the year. We've only basically bid up on the bigger picture and held 400. Sure, if you're getting along up here, it's a little bit of a buying the strength there. So if you're looking to sell higher, you might need to hold on for this 400. If the 400, I think, is going to be very distinctive, as it has shown us that it is kind of a support over and over again. And if we crack back below this, we got space to the downside all the way below 300 here. 280s seems like that consolidation here. But yeah, sure, you can take a look at this as well. But that, I don't think, is that as strong as some of this consolidation and these lower highs there as well, underneath that 300 level. So I think some solid opportunities to potentially look forward to during this week there, Sean. So it's been a pretty solid day. I'm a little bit exhausted, but that exhaustion, that capitulation came in early on for me. I'm still kind of rolling along.
Okay. You see countdown? You're gonna have to hit that because I gotta go over to the desk.
All right.
Not now. With when there's 10 seconds left.
Okay.
So you hit the countdown. We'll probably yell to you, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay. So just quickly here, we're still in AMD. We got covered on Carvana. Once Carvana broke back down below 40, we got out of our last 20%. Good outs for us on Carvana. Relatively flat. We will be net negative on it, but we were able to make a lot back there off that last little bump up. I mean, our best outs there were in the 20s off of a 74 long or whatever we were there. So that was good. AMD not really doing the dance too much here, and unfortunately it's like not giving me anything. But it was a good trade. Like, thankfully we were able to short it all the way up and never got out. So, you know, by the time we took the best fills, which were right here at 60, like, no surprise that they are the best fills, right? They came right in. So that was a good little level right there. So now we're starting to take more and more out here on the downside near 57, 58 cents down to the downside. But again, these are just flat trades. Doesn't look like we want to do anything on this one. So at least we'll sort of hold up here. Be positive today. GitLab coming, GTLB. So those of you that are interested in that, that is coming up right here into the close. So we will be watching out for GitLab. It's been a nice little move upside for the whole market recently, and included in that is GitLab off of this $40, $42 mark. So nicely done. We'll see if GitLab can break through 55. I think it probably does right now, but with less than a minute left, I'm going to run over there. I'll probably just punch out of everything, I mean, including that, like maybe even right now on this, and then just get out of AMD. There it is. We'll just punch it all out and get back over and get ready for the closing show. So Obi, kill them with kindness. Thank you so much, my friend, today. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think Sean pointed out some earnings that we're having aftermarket today. GitLab, I think, is the most interesting to me, but I kind of look over to tomorrow. Tomorrow morning is definitely going to be interesting as well. NIO kind of reporting in the morning as well. We've got some other names here. I don't necessarily recognize a lot of these. Maybe I guess AutoZone, but I think AutoZone is ridiculously priced if I remember correctly. Let's just take a quick look there. AZO. I think it's a $2,000 ticker if I'm not mistaken. And we will know. Yeah, exactly. So $2,700 ticker there on that. And I got to do the countdown. I'm already about 5 seconds late. I was talking too much there. So we got about 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're closed. All right. So the timer's still going on. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you for spending your time with us today. Thanks for again. Thanks for your patience. We talk about kind of our trades and our ideas. Again, all just opinions, whether they come into fruition or not. That's again, the market. The market is. There's a reason why I call it mother market, right? The market is the end all, be all, kind of decisive factor in your trades. If the market wants to go one way or another, you definitely have to respect that. And that was a big lesson for me today. But yeah, without any further ado, I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. But don't go anywhere. Stick around. We're going to be passing it over to Sean at the big desk for the market recap. Take it easy, guys.
All right, welcome. Thank you so much, Obi, as we get ready to rock and roll right now. I'm just logging in here, so I will find everybody. We'll do a little bit of a roll call here for everybody as we get going. Thank you, Miss Adara. It's okay. Don't worry. Everyone knows who you are. Thank you so much for that drink. Yeah, take care, Obi, and everybody there in the chat. I'm just going to log into my Twitter over here at a new machine. I have that two-step authentication going on here as well. So you got to make sure you have that going through. All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. It should be a good day. We had a nice day in the market. And remember, we are sponsored by Benzinga. So as soon as GitLab comes through, man, we will have it for you. Here is the Benzinga Pro platform right now. It's just going to come rolling through here. Tesla right now, different kind of news stories coming out. As soon as we see something, Bitcoin and Ethereum surge to yearly highs, as we could see some of that. So as soon as GitLab comes in, we will have that. We are very, very excited to have Michael Noss coming through again here today, talk about some of the ideas that he may have. Again, the ES, nice moves today. 16,000 in sight, obviously, there for the NASDAQ, as we will talk about some of these movers today. You did have some nice movement, and maybe Michael as well. We could talk a little bit about gold, as that was down 2%, as my eyes are still looking for that number from GitLab. I don't know exactly when they will report, but we do also have trade ideas here, and what that's going to do is going to refresh it, push start, refresh it, and push start. These are races. So anything that starts to move, like there's SSNT today, anything that moves here in the after hours will show up right here, which will alert my eyes and my attention. So we do have a nice little rundown for you here today, including another play for you tonight on the Monday Night Football. We've been really hot fire. I think we're about 4-1, maybe 5-2 since we started giving some of these plays. There's SSNT with a huge move today. TLB, not out yet, but if it is, we'll see a movement here. Whoa, there it is. Maybe it is out. Nice little move upside into $54. If we do have GitLab, I will bring it to you. I'm not seeing it cross yet, but if we do have it, we will give it to you. Who is here with me right now? Thank you so much for staying late. As we talk about it, traders stay late, and that's what we're doing right now, to talk a little bit about these markets and potentially give you some ideas for tomorrow. Today was a relatively flat day. I mean, we were up today, but the market was relatively flat. We had some huge trades early. The big one that I want to talk about, and we will get over this, is going to be Uber with the inclusion into, and who's here, by the way? Yo, what's up, Chef Joe? Tom's Trades, Hertz Scramblers here. Streamlabs is here. Alec Davis, Bears vs. Bulls. Emma Fernandez, what's up, Emma? Big hi to everybody. What's up, Marie? Dewey is saying hi. Mr. Westermeyer is here. Hey, I don't know why I do it either. Yeah, let's see Kramer trade while he does his show. Let's see anybody do it. What's up, Gerald? It is roll call right now. Do I have the stream deck? Yes, I do. There it is. It's roll call. Oh, Rivian, thank you so much. Paulie D, I like those little goat emojis. What's up to Ozan and everybody that's here? All right, you know what, Mr. Michael Noss and everybody? What's up with that for gold right now? A nice little pullback, and I'm just playing around. Gold's been an absolutely monster call for those of you that have been in it. You can get, again, good leverage in this name. If you're trading some ETFs, 2 times the leverage, 3 times the leverage, nice move back up as gold hits the top, then falls back down. We'll see maybe if Michael still likes this one. GLD to the moon. I think he was calling 2,500 on spot. We'll see. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but gold making a move down today, as well as the Chinese. Okay. Here we go, baby. This FXI. I did not notice this was at $25. FXI today. This is the large cap Chinese ETF, right? And so, as you can see, we are breaking below basically year lows, man. This goes all the way back to last November when we saw $25. So for me, although we've been talking not necessarily bad about Alibaba, but look what's been happening to Alibaba as it continues to go down. There was a story today, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Alibaba got overtaken. There was something about Alibaba down 30% on the year, Pinduoduo up 70%. Charlie Munger, again, passed away, so, sorry to hear about that, but he was definitely one of the supporters or liked Alibaba long, and again, we'll wait to hear more about the positioning, but this has been really gotten killed here. $72. Did NIO break 7? Not that it matters. Poor Neil will be sad if and when this breaks $7. That's a big little level there. Big little level down there at $7. So we will watch out for that one coming through. Look, as far as Benzinga is concerned, I don't see anything for GitLab yet. So let's just have a quick, oh, what? As if that just popped in as we just said that right there, like that's crazy. There's GitLab right now, 9 cents, beats minus. Looks like they're turning profitability right now. GTLB, I feel like that was a little bit out of the blue there. So yes, sir. There it is. Let's go, man. I don't know. Let's just go like this. It's a nice move up for GTLB right now. Look at these levels, 60. Okay, well, guess where we are triggered right now? Up to $62. It's 20%. It's a blowout number for GitLab with 8% short. It is starting to get going there. GTLB now, nice move back up to the upside, $149 million worth of sales, beating 141. A clear beat right now for GitLab. Looks like they beat on the top and the bottom. EPS beat, sales beat. We will wait for the guide. I would say higher guide. Why not? Nice little move there. As you could see, some people talking about it right now. There's the GTLB report. You are correct, Mr. Tony Majid. As we go to the upside now for GTLB, nice move, upside 61 and change, taking it all out. All right, the regional banks continue to be strong, including the leader. Out of all the sectors today, up 1.4%. There we go. It is the KRE, well above the 50-period moving average, looking to take out $50 now. Upside on KRE. Congratulations, anybody that had that one. Shout out to Obi. He's still there, man. Obi talked to me today. XHB. It's the home builders. And wow, is it the home builders? We were saying, oh man, poor Warren, he's out of the money right now. What kind of a call was that on home builders? How about back to, not all-time highs, but recent highs there as we take out that summer level of $85. It's Hydration Nation. Everyone take a shot of whatever's in front of you. We don't have that vodka bottle in front of you. Oh, I see Michael Noss. He is getting ready to come through. I hope his back is okay. that guy was shoveling and shoveling and shoveling when we got through there. He said between 15 to 20 centimeters. I think it's what, 2.5, 3 centimeters per inch, something like that. So I think you're around 6, 7 inches of snow there in Halifax. So thank you for coming through again, Mr. Michael Noss. He will be on very, very shortly. Michael, if you're listening, I want to hear a little bit about gold. Gold today, one of the worst ETFs in the spot. Also silver coming through. And I don't think we need to panic about where gold's at, man. It's still near highs, as is silver. Both pulling back just a little bit off of some of those highs. XRT, we saw you know what's so funny? The XRT holdings are actually well weighted with CVNA. So Carvana today, again, up 14%, not percent, helping out the XRT ETF to the upside. I know, it's really funny, right? So if I just have XRT holdings and we do this, we've already done this on the show once, and it was, I wonder if, I don't think, you know what would be really cool, and we're going to have Michael on in a second. I wonder if Trade Ideas does have the holdings of all of these ETFs somewhere in there. All right, here's the top 10 holdings for XRT. Murphy USA, Foot Locker. We can look at that. Abercrombie Gap, Casey's. I thought Carvana, maybe it wasn't XRT, maybe it was something else, that I was really surprised that had Carvana in it. It must not have been. Maybe it was consumer discretionary. But anyways, here's the top 10 holdings right now for this big ETF. Looks like Foot Locker. Let's have a quick look at what Foot Locker did today, because that would make a little bit of sense, as Foot Locker's definitely off the bottoms as well. Yeah, there's Foot Locker taking out, or trying to take out 30. Wow, this is looking real nice as well. Foot Locker definitely off the bottom. They have a new CEO. The CEO from Ulta Beauty. She's obviously, not obviously, but she, I keep saying she, female name coming through. I'm losing the thought of her name right now, but from Ulta Beauty, definitely a few quarters. Nice move back up to the upside right now for FL Foot Locker. There's XHB, the home builders. Nice talk there. As Toll Brothers also, this is going to be a daily chart, so maybe I can zoom back out, but Toll Brothers also making a move back upside. Oh no, sorry, that's TOL. TOL is what we're looking for Toll Brothers. There it is right now, taking out some highs. Again, look at this. like we're going to have a CMT on, but these 50 period, 200 period moving averages on some of these ETFs and some of the indexes have been so damn good. Look at the IWM. I mean, this one, look at this busting through the 200 period of 180 up to 186. IWM, the Russell, also holding higher and higher as this tends to go upside here as well. Nice move there for IWM today. All right. Energy, little down, XLE down today. USO, interesting thing about XLE and USO, we are all around the 200 period moving averages as oil and OPEC going to come into some problems, but I would say let's not worry too much about this as XLE. People are going to still need energy. I still like USO and XLE to move forward as we go. Just quickly, GTLB, we talked a little bit about earnings. We can go over to earnings now. I do want to talk about HUD 8 as well. Look at GitLab right now. Nice move to the upside. Quickly on GTLB, I saw some, here it is right here. Here it is. So what is GitLab seeing now? Q4 adjusted EPS. Again, they're saying they're going to be profitable next quarter as well. So that's going to be a good one, as well as an increase in revenue. So we'll find out what's going on. They also see forward year 2024, 12 to 13 versus red minus 6 cents. So again, GitLab, if you're looking for some names that are going to turn a profit, it looks like GitLab is saying they will. We saw what happened with Uber today, joining the S&P on that inclusion happening on Friday. Nice move up for Uber. But you guys know what I was talking about. Today, since we're going to talk about some earnings plays, we'll talk about HUD 8. But look what we talked about here today. And we're going to get to Sean's tweets. Those are coming up soon. But look at Uber. Fade the news. Let's look at 61 short there. That's what we had today on Uber. Let's go over to my trades. We don't need to look at trade ideas for this. Uber today, look at all purple or shorts, man. We shorted this thing at 61. Look at the close, 58.75. Big one, but we should have reshorted there. Our best out today, 59.75, about $1 clean, but Uber continues its downside move off of that inclusion into the S&P 500. So again, a nice move back down in for all of this, but movements downside here for Uber. We do want to talk to Michael about this, and I know he wants to talk to me. So yeah, whenever we're ready, maybe we could call Michael through as we're getting close to this. Anything else catching my eye here? Okay, so SMH, we did talk about SMH not holding these highs. Look, this is the last time NVIDIA reported downside. Here's when NVIDIA reported now, possible more downside moves. Did NVIDIA close above or below 450? It looks like they hold the fort there today. We bounced off 451. NVIDIA with a nice move in, but giving some back here into the close. Okay, if we're ready, we are. It's Trader Talk. Let's bring them on. Which way? This way for me? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, Michael, how are you? Oh, look what I can see on your face. You got a little bit of sun today, it seems like, being out there. First of all, how's the back? How is the shoveling? And thank you so much for taking time to come on the show.
Hey, the back is fine right now. We got to see what happens tomorrow. That's always when it really hits you, when you get out of bed tomorrow. But let's hope I'm still not too old, I guess, to shovel my driveway without serious problems.
Stop it. You're not too old. Me and you went back and forth there. It's nice when you have maybe a skip the gym day because you're snowed in, but then you also get the workout with the snow. Okay, we talked a little bit about Uber. I'm not sure if we talked about it earlier with you when you were on at 8:45 on the morning show, but for me, it was kind of an easy trade today. I thought, for me personally, I like to sell the news all of the time, man. Buy the rumor, sell the news. We did it when they released that Oculus 3 with Meta. Same type of thing here with Tesla over the last couple of days. Now you're starting to see pullbacks happening in Uber. So anything catch your eye with this trade? I know if you zoom back, there's some big levels back there near 61, 62. So if you don't mind, I don't know if I caught you off guard a little bit right there with Uber, but we could talk about anything you want, Michael.
No, I'm just bringing up my charts now, but I do like to take these moments of stocks that are moving into and out of the S&P 500 and these major ETFs to kind of remind people of the simple truth that there is no There is no such thing as passive or passive investing, right? There's this big lie, I think, that's told to everybody about, hey, you can either trade your money or invest your money yourself, or you can just passively invest it somewhere else. But what we're seeing today, and I got a couple charts to go through with this, is that again, that's not the case. There is no such thing as this passive style investing. Basically, you're just letting the S&P committee at the S&P 500 do this for you. And it's very interesting. If you take a look at our charts here that I have for Uber, let's actually go all the way. We're going to hit a monthly chart. We're going to hit a long-term chart. So this thing has gone from 20 up to $60, and then it was added into the S&P 500.
Right.
The other ones that were added, what JBL today didn't get as much play, but that was added, and another monster uptrend, and then just added today. I think the last one, I've got my notes over here, but the last one was BLDR, or Builders. Um, and that was also a pretty monster uptrend. So the point I'm trying to get to, and we can go through the ones that were removed, and they were all opposites, right? So BLDR, Uber, and JBL, all massive uptrends. The ones that were selling off have been selling, or removed, have been selling off for a long period of time. So for a short-term trade, the buy the rumor, sell the news, I think is a great little trade. But for the long-term people, I think it really makes sense to kind of zoom out and say, oh, this is just the S&P 500 is just a relative strength investing style. And that's what I talk about myself, and you guys talk about even on the day trading front all the time, is you just buy the strongest stuff and sell stuff that's no longer working. It's what the S&P 500 does, and it seems to work for them in the long run.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about that passive investing, because what you're referring to, I think, is a little bit different than what I'm understanding. Do you just mean, like, when I think about passive investing, I almost think about kind of like dollar cost averaging, almost like where you just buy the S&P 500 maybe once every quarter or once every month, and you just passively put your money into the market. You're not trading it in and out. You're kind of just hoping for that sort of an uptrend. Did you mean passively trading some of these names? Or do you mean, for example, just investing in general? Because I know that passive investing has been really a trend lately, where there's a lot of traders, and I keep hearing it, there's money on the sidelines, there's this, there's that. I don't mind that for a longer term strategy, but what is your sort of negativity about maybe dollar cost averaging, or are we a little bit offside here with what I'm thinking?
No, I think dollar cost averaging is fine. I think the point I'm trying to make is that the instrument, the S&P 500, that people think is a passive vehicle, is not a passive vehicle. If you are dollar costing average in the S&P 500, that's no difference from dollar costing averaging into a bunch of names that you like yourself. So I think a lot of people say, oh, it's the S&P 500, therefore it's a passive vehicle. No, it has money managers. So you're just kind of outsourcing the work for them. And if that's what you're trying to do, that's great. I just think we should remove the passive aspect, because as you can see, every quarter they're very active on what they're buying and what they're selling, no different than any other investor would be.
Yeah, and I think you're right with that one too, because with the lower fees associated with our own individual trading, I mean, some ETFs are literally free to get in and out. So why not get in and out of positions when you see them hit key levels? You want to talk about key levels? You and I have gone back and forth about gold. And I know that you've been pounding the table with a lot of different ideas. You brought us Barrick Gold, I think a couple months ago. That was working. You can grab the dividend and everything with that name as well. But I know you've been looking at gold, and we talked about it over the monthly charts. You were talking about breaking highs, and we sort of did that. I have GLD up here for myself. I was actually just looking at Solar Edge, because that was one of the names that came out. But gold, again, another great call. Bouncing off the 50 and the 200 period here on a daily. But we just ran into a bit of trouble here where we saw 190 on GLD back into springtime highs. So again, if we are managing our position and we are maybe long gold, I would always think about taking something out when we get to some of these levels, because you could be right and you could be wrong when levels bump up like this. We saw it with oil hitting some of that with XLE and now fading back in and now hovering. Is it time to maybe ring the register on a little bit of this GLD?
Well, I actually did a little bit today, but I am looking to reload. So up on my screen right now, I have the monthly chart from gold. So on Friday, I did a monthly review, and we went through, because the time that I was on lined it up with the end of the monthly charts. So we went through tons of monthly charts, and gold was one of them. And gold at the end of the month made an all-time monthly closing high.
Right.
Obviously bullish for the long run. That's exactly what you want, an all-time high. But I did mention all of these topping tails you can see in the chart going back years, where each time we kind of hit one of these, we seem to reject from them. So that was a bit of a warning that I put out and said, hey, if we start to see this action again, I'm going to pull the trigger. However, I think after 2 giant months up in a row, having a couple weeks or even a week or 2 of consolidation is probably overall bullish. So, although I took some off the table just for safety's sake, I'm watching this kind of 190 area, you could say, on the S or on gold. If we get and hold back above there and I see another kind of weekly close above that area, I think I'm going to add back in what I sold, and maybe even a little bit more, because we are on the crux of this breakout. So I want to make sure that if we break out, I'm involved. But just like you said, as we're getting near that area that we've rejected so many times, I did want to pay myself a little bit on what was a really good trade.
No, I do. We've had Brian Shannon on, of course, and you know, a friend of yours as well, and he's talked to us about, and I was like giving him credit for one of his Affirm trades. He's like, I'm actually out because it hit his levels, and he gets out sometimes a third, and you always have to pay yourself. And I think part of that goes to the style of trader that maybe you are. Like if you're a swing trader, you want to get out and then regroup. And you hit uranium, by the way. That was another fantastic look for you as well. So, all right. I want to ask you this because sometimes I'm looking online and I see you always talking about crypto. So do you think gold and Bitcoin, have you seen any studies sort of tying those two together? I know gold is a lot, maybe more calm than Bitcoin, but this recent move up into 190 there for GLD, then you get Bitcoin breaking through 40,000. Maybe people are just looking for other alternatives other than that passive sort of investing in these markets with these ETFs. I mean, I'm enjoying this Bitcoin run up. Maybe there's something with gold and Bitcoin. I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
The problem, and I have done a lot more studying on crypto, the problem with it is the amount of data that we have on crypto is so little. Usually
Right.
when I bring you guys a relative strength model, I've tested that back like 15, 20 years, right? So I want a lot of data, but crypto is so new. Now, what I will say in the long run, from what we've seen so far, crypto is actually way more correlated to the NASDAQ than any other commodity or
Yes.
index other. A
Yes.
lot of people treat it almost like it's just another speculative tech kind of investment. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I get the narrative of Bitcoin being kind of the digital gold. For me, I'm playing these things a lot, like we talked about. I actually
Mara.
mentioned Mara. I have up here on the chart. Way back around $10. I'm in some of that. It's sitting around 15. What I loved about that, and I mentioned this on the show at the time, is that if we broke and we held through this $10 area, there's a 26% short float in Mara. That could get us
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very big. 15 is fantastic. I think I mentioned it would be a very Merry Christmas if it got there, and it did. Now my eyes are set on 20 if we're able to hold that. So, again, for the people who are looking at stocks and they're looking for a way to make sure that they can get involved in the crypto space, look at some of these miners. They have incredibly high short floats, and I think you can get a lot of juice in them if we get this continued rally in the crypto space.
I'm going to give a little bang for you because that is 1,000% accurate. You did call that Mara down at $10. And just for me, if you come over to my screen real quick, just as a support and resistance kind of guy, that $10 break, I mean, even if you gave that back into 8 or 9, like you're well in now. Great trade. You definitely brought that to everyone's attention. I remember you saying you could get a little more juice out of some of these miners. And wow, Michael, Coinbase, another name that has have you heard anything about this? Because I'm trying to think to myself, why in the world is Coinbase up 100% in a month while we have Bitcoin obviously not up 100%, but this is completely I don't know, unhinged from any reality, in my opinion. Coinbase continues to make moves. For me, this is a short, but I'm not, I mean, we can analyze it as much as we want, but wow, I'm surprised. And I'm just asking you, maybe, because you have your ear to the ground as well. What's up with Coinbase? Is this surprising you? Or I don't know. For me, it's a little offside here all the way up at 150.
Yeah, to me, it's overextended as well. Now, I did talk to a buddy of mine, actually, Crypto Burp, who I had
Yep,
on the
yep.
other day. Was on his podcast on Saturday, and we spoke a little bit about this offline. Me and him chat all the time. His theory, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense,
Okay.
is that when all of these companies have been filing for their Bitcoin ETF, they're being asked who will be their custodian. Where are they going to trade these Bitcoin? Because as an ETF grows and gets more investment, they're going to have to go and buy more Bitcoin. So they all got asked by the SEC, where are they going to do these trades? And they all answered Coinbase. So I think that's the play that's going on right now, is that people are seeing Coinbase be potentially the institutional crypto, or the institutional exchange, where they've Coinbase has done a very good job. I spent some time in the crypto space when it was getting started. They've done a very good job trying to front run regulation. They've gone to the SEC, they've gone to the CTFC, and they said, hey, here, I know you don't want them because we're not regulated, but here's all of our books, here's everything open. The CEO has been trying to front run this regulation the best he can. And in return, he's getting this institutional kind of sign of support. When BlackRock comes and talks to the SEC and says, yes, I'm going to use Coinbase as my crypto exchange and as my custodian, I think the street is paying attention to that right now. But I agree with you. This move is a little bit too done. I don't know how they're going to make their money off this. We see, Robinhood and all of these other brokers going to zero commission.
Yeah.
It makes me think that crypto is probably going to do the same thing, and we see what that whole race to zero has done to a lot of these brokers. So a little overdone to me, but I think it's just this institutional story that's getting at play.
Yep. Okay. I talked about that live on the show today. I just thought like Coinbase is the one. It's been anointed the one. So thanks for that. And a big shout out to Crypto Burb. Adrian Zadunchuk. I was impressed when I pronounced his name properly, and I think he was as well. So I'm going to keep on doing that. Michael Nosh, thank you so much for joining us again today. Did you meet up with some guy named Neil Roberts or no?
I didn't. We emailed a little bit on the weekend. He said he was right into family time, and there was a whole bunch of family around.
All right.
I said, listen, that's what you should be doing. And hey, maybe I'll take a little trip up to see you guys at the end of the year. We'll put together a sale or something.
Well, we consider you family around here as well, my friend. So thank you, Michael Noss. Thank you so much for joining us here every single Monday on the Market Recap Show. Good job there. Good job with all that. I hope more snow coming, or what do they say?
I think we're done. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Can't trust the weatherman, but I think we're done for now.
That's it. It's Trader Talk. Thank you, Michael. Take care and good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I need a new button for Sean's tweets because I think this is going to be a fun little segment coming through. And I got to be quick because I got to take my kid to his game today. All right, real quick, man. Stuff I want to talk about. Interesting right here about NVIDIA. This is from Charlie Bilello here coming through. Look, profit margins are probably the most mean reverting series in finance. As NVIDIA's profit margins absolutely rocket, which are doing right now, that just shows everybody, hey, we're in the business of making a lot of money. Maybe you want to join us. But the problem with NVIDIA is foundries and being able to build these chips. You got to have the right processes to build these chips. You got to have what's going on up here. Jensen Huang has that. But I could definitely see NVIDIA pulling back down as maybe you don't need these huge H chips. Maybe AMD and some of the other littler known like Intel. I don't think Intel's there yet, but maybe AMD can match. Whenever you get high profit margins, all of a sudden, look what happens with Tesla, right? Tesla has huge profit margins on their cars. Then they have to start to shrink them down when competition comes in. I thought that was really interesting. And here we go. Another one right now. This is the 60-40. The 60-40 portfolio is actually had its best month since 1976. So that's 60% equity, 40% fixed income. So again, there it is, US 60-40, the best month in the last 30 years as you had equities blasting up, and then near the end of the month, you also had rates starting to go back up. I hate that portfolio diversification, but if you're in it, you just had a good one. All right, that's enough for Sean's tweets as I got to get out of here as well. The one thing I did want to say, shout out to everybody. Let's do a little bit of roll call right now. We will also have my play of the day. Mr. Westermeyer, thank you so much to Bears vs. Bulls. Andrew here. Arsis, Tisha, Gregory, Michelle, Hayden. Tisha wants me to talk about SSNT always. So there you go. You got another one. I got to get it here. Hayden, Stoyle Stocks, Nick Dubb, Nicole Harris, Coffee and Kids, as well as thank you so much to this person as well for coming through. But there's Coinbase, nice upside. Quick look at GitLab as well. Let's see what GitLab is doing, still holding above that $61. Okay, that's it. Next topic is roll call, but it's also Monday Night Football. So quickly, we just did a little bit of a roll call. Shout out to anybody that's here with me right now. Thank you, Alex, BKM Trader, Paulie D, and everybody. All right, look, not only do I gamble here every single day on the show with you live, we throw a little more money around on the show than I do on my own personal account for gambling. The problem with gambling is it's not a problem. I watch football for fun, but I do like to sprinkle a little on the side. So today's play of the day, let's go. It's banging. We'll hit some calculations here. All right, just real quick before I go. Notice something here. Tonight's game is Jacksonville versus Cincinnati. Look what I see down here. This is NFL team opponent passing yards per game. Look what I see down here. Hey, Jacksonville, how are you right now? Averaging over 255 yards given up per game, right? Not great their last few games. Huge number there for Jacksonville. And I know we don't have Joey B. Cincinnati doesn't have Joe Burrow. They have Browning. But the thing is, look at this. Look at these odds. All Jake Browning has to do is pass for over 217.5 yards. I like the over, if you can't guess. You've got Jamar Chase in the building. You've got T. Higgins coming back. You've got Boyd in there. I think this is an awesome opportunity. Plus, this could be a high-scoring game today between Jacksonville and Cincinnati. Jacksonville's going to put up points on that Cincinnati defense. The only way you can beat them is by putting up points yourselves. It's all about that. I like it. It's going to be a good game for us, hopefully coming through 28th in the league. T. Higgins is back. The Cincinnati Bengals will be trailing. This is your play of the day. It is Jake Browning right there with the over 217.5. So thank you so much for watching. It's another big one. We'll be here tomorrow. It'll be me and Obi at 8:30. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I hope everyone had a great day today. And hey, thank you to Michael Noss for coming through again. I'm Sean Katina. This is Trader TV Live. Traders stay late, and you did with me, and I thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.